Do not worry.
Howdy doody, everybody. Welcome to a brand new howdy doody. I don't know why I said that. Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you live from the heart of Lebanon in the 09. It is 5:07 p.m. on this lovely Tuesday afternoon here. Coming to you live. How's it going? You guys doing good? We have a couple things to talk about today. Essentially, got a couple of streams planned for today. This followed by a members stream. So as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to take like a however long this is, an hour break or so, and then we'll hop into a members stream. But for now, we're going to be talking about the online reaction to iDubbbz apology, which he posted yesterday, and led to Ethan Klein dropping his lawsuit against iDubbbz. The reaction online has been mixed. Some people are upset that iDubbbz sort of capitulated or fed into Ethan's like hand, or played into his hand, where it's like, hey, you're just by capitulating and by apologizing, you are encouraging this guy to threaten more people with more lawsuits, and it's essentially, you know, kind of proving his point that he can sue his way to victory, essentially. I had another opinion. I supported iDubbbz, you know what I mean? And we'll talk about that later. But anyways, we're gonna be looking at various reactions from across the internet. We're also gonna be looking at some updates here from Lebanon, and listen to Asmongold's opinion on what should be happening to my country. Asmongold, as you guys know, a sincere lover of the land of Israel, lover of Israelis, lover of Zionism. So, you know, in an age in 2026, when your favorite online streamer loves Israel and loves encouraging them, you know, to bomb more countries, kind of unpopular. Anyways, we'll talk about that as well, and a couple other things. But before we get going, quick reminder that we have a membership goal here. Trying to get 600 members, folks. If you guys would like to support this channel, being a member is a great way to do so. You get exclusive content, such as, I don't know why it's not appearing here. Let me see, members only, videos. Where can I see this highlighted content? View all. So at 6, so after this live stream tonight, we're going to be having this members live stream. I'm going to be reviewing Obsession. I got to see Obsession recently, so I'm going to review Obsession, and I'm going to sort of like discuss a little bit of the movie. There's been a controversy about pay and the crew getting paid, because this movie was, you know, famously made for only $750,000, less than $1 million. Most movies that are made that come out in theaters cost millions of dollars. So this is a micro budget movie, which has already made over $280 million. It's one of the most profitable movies of all time when just looking at how much it costs versus how much it's making. And a lot of the crew have been, or one of the art directors, I think, came out and was like, hey, I wish I kind of knew to like sign a different deal, or like, you know, people should change the way they, you know, payment structures work on film. So there's been a lot of controversy, and people are upset with her, like, why are you complaining? You should have signed a better deal, etc. So I'm going to kind of debate the whole situation. I'm going to review the movie, spoiler free for those who haven't seen the movie, and then I'm going to kind of discuss that whole topic about should, in retrospect, once they made this much money, should they just pay some of the crew a little bit of extra cash? You know what I'm saying? For like their efforts. Some people volunteered on the movie for free because it was so low budget. So that's going to be our debate. Not our debate, our conversation on the member stream happening after this live stream. So if you guys are interested, consider becoming a member. It's going to be a fun stream. And then once we're done with that, if it ends up being a short topic, we'll react to some videos. We'll have some fun. So don't worry about that. Swampy Boy sends a £2 dono. Thank you so much, Swampy. Says, iDubbbz did the right thing. Now the left can heal. Well, thank you, Swampy. Let us Sarah says, you want to do member live stream without me, Sarah? Well, Sarah, if you get gifted a membership, you will get to watch those live streams, so don't you worry about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's some memberships, not everyone can get access to them, Sarah. Yeah, we got a bunch of members here. Mac Lopez, Hidden Iron, Afwej, Swampy Boy, I can't tell. No, Swampy Boy is not a member. Bat, not judging you. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Bad Pierogies, Honk Big, Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Also, let me take a second to thank some of our other members. The show can't go on without our members. Our members make sure that we can pay our bills over here. Our members and our patrons, and also everybody who sends in a super chat and stuff. All of your support is very very kind and generous. Let me thank some of our members like New York Anthony, Manu Pillai Design, Born Standen, Fair and Wolf 1561, Death of Philip. Oh, I forgot that name again. What was it? Death of Philippe Auguste. There we go. Also, Weird Noddles XD. Daycatchers. Hannah K5401. Carbanzo Bean. I'm a Dinosaur. The Nina Daly, who's been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much. And I'm a Dinosaur for 4 months. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Jesse Jean Short, who's been a member for 10 months. Thank you so much. That's crazy. As well as Jess Pavlenchko 5745. Thank you so much. And Hot Ham Radio, who just became a member. Thank you so much, Hot Ham Radio. That is so kind. And Mac Lopez just gifted a Do Not Worry membership. Let's go. Holy shit. And that went to Chateau Keiki. Thank you so much, Mac Lopez. That is so fucking kind. Hot Ham Radio, welcome back, sir. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our members. Andrea Joan as well, who's been a member for 4 months and who's been gifting a bunch of memberships. And everybody who's been gifting memberships on the channel. Y'all know yourselves. You guys are awesome. So Swampy says, Swampy says, I don't think the Obsession crew were mistreated. Well, to know my opinion and where I stand and what I'm going to say, you guys can become a member and you can join in the conversation and have some fun. Might surprise you. It might not. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Bat Pierogi with another gifted membership, folks. We got 3 memberships. Let's fucking go. I can't tell who got Bat Pierogi's membership yet, though. It's going to be an interesting conversation. I definitely guarantee it. Bat Pierogi, thank you so much, sir. All right. And also, we cannot forget our lovely patrons. By the way, the live stream that I do for members will also be uploaded to Patreon. So patrons, you will get to enjoy it and watch this beautiful, beautiful content. Again, this will be the live stream later today. I have it scheduled for 9 p.m. Beirut time. So that's like 4 hours from now. I think that should be fine. I don't think this live stream is going to be longer than 3 hours. That'll give me an hour break. And then we'll come back for a nice little fun hour with the members. And then tomorrow, folks, I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to finally read a chapter from that sex book. I'm reading the book from that sex book. Okay. I'm sorry. Someone paid me to stop. This will be the last time I show this picture. Morning Glory Milking Farm. I will be reading a bit of this. I will be recording it tomorrow and uploading it to Patreon very soon. This week, folks, the Eel Pit. This is my Eel Pit. Honk Big sends $3 Canadian. Thank you so much, Honk Big. And says, I always just say good morning, but I promise I stick around. I'm just always working. Well, Honk Big, thank you so much. Even if you're just saying good morning and popping out, thank you so much. We love and appreciate you. The Minotaur Milking, yes, Fair and Wolf, will be read for the patrons. So patrons, it is coming. And I might release like a 2-minute little teaser for the members or something. Okay, just a little taste. Just a little taste. Let me thank some of our lovely, our amazing patrons who, again, without whom the show would not be possible. Got your patron, Eliane Mujabir. Superhero patron, Ezekiel B, BB Fadi Mac. Blonde patrons, Matthew Baxter, Mercedes W. Myri C, Alice Eicherland. Abductee patrons, Choki, Inc., Jenna, Jigglypuffer, Excess Lubricant, Samir Adadao, Shahran Khan, Taylor Swift, and Mars. Thank you guys so much. We love and appreciate you all. And please keep in mind, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a patron. Simply being here, subscribing to the channel, that makes a massive difference. We recently crossed 30,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I hope we can stay there longer than last time. Sorry, I'm trying to... Face ID doesn't work when I have my microphone all up in my face. But subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. You know what I mean? Hop into the live chat. Say hello. Leave a comment if you're watching the replay. Leave a like for the video. Be kind. And also consider subscribing to my second channel, Tino's Playroom. That is where I spend a lot of time as well. I might be doing a third live stream there tonight once I'm done with the member stream. Maybe just building some chill Lego. This is where I play video games like Dark Souls 2 with my best friend Elias, sometimes solo. Building Lego sets. I do Lego reviews, Lego live streams where we've been following up on the Reckless Ben Bricks and Minifig saga. So if you guys like watching me building Lego sets and nerding out, building a Clone War mock that I'm slowly assembling all the parts for that I'm going to be building later in July when I come back from the States, all this sort of shit, tune in. subscribe to the channel. Link is pinned on top or at the bottom of your live chat starting right now. Boom, there you go. So, and yeah, switch the stream to live chat. There we go. Ba-bang. Also, guys, I need more, we need more, I need more moderators. I need mods. I want to give a lot of our mods a break. If anyone in chat who's a regular feels like they would be interested in being a moderator, put a croissant in chat, okay? Anyone who's potentially interested in becoming a moderator on the channel, leave a croissant in chat, and you know, your dreams may come true. Okay. Anyways, with all that out of the way, all that self-promotion, I want to get to one little... I'll be right back. 1 second. Here. You guys want to look at something fun? Look at our boy. Bang. Okay. Okay, we got a little croissant. We got some croissants in chat. Okay, perfect. This is okay. Some of the names that are some of the people that are stepping up, and some people that are not even stepping up. Okay. First of all, sorry guys, just adding some moderators right now. Okay. Batch 1 of new moderators has been created. I can't tell. I can't tell. Okay. And to make it official, obviously, to Drac the Ripper, Mac Lopez, and Hidden Iron. I hope I got that right. As the Prince of Assyria, the Prince without a kingdom, as the descendant of Malik Anthony Sargon de Varda, I knight thee, moderators of the Do Not Worry YouTube channel, of the Do Not Worry community, for now, until you perish. Take a knee. Now take a knee, everyone. Stand in front of your TVs. Stand in front of your televisions and take a knee. All right. You are knighted. This is the sword, the same sword that knighted Jim D. Dukers. This is the sword. It was also a gift from Haile Selassie to my great-grandfather, the emperor, Haile Selassie, the emperor of Ethiopia. That's a whole other story right now. But the more important thing about the sword is that this is the sword that knighted Jim D. Dukers and all of our other moderators, okay? So, actually, maybe, I can't remember when I started the sword thing. Not all mods were knighted. But Jim was, and that was a moment he really appreciated. Sarah, I have seen your croissants in chat. Your turn is coming soon, Sarah. It's going to be a surprise, though. So, it's going to be a surprise. Today, we've got 3 new, so salutations and congratulations to our 3 new moderators, Mac Lopez, Drac the Ripper, and Hidden Iron. I salute you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for always being here, for being awesome members of this community. I was hoping it would be you 3. So, we very much love you. Yeah, if Haley hasn't been knighted, I will retroactively knight Haley. I'll retroactively knight everyone. Haley most definitely deserves to be knighted. So does Polish Pusher. If Polish Pusher hasn't been knighted, I must wrong those rights. Okay. Something that I wanted to get to. These folks emailed me on April 23rd, so it's been a couple of months, and it was my mistake for not mentioning this. There is a rock band in Lebanon, a local Lebanese rock band that reached out to me right in the middle of like the war, as the war was happening, April 23rd. They're called El Tasa, or Etesa, I think, the 9th. They said, hello, DNW team. We hope you're having a good day and staying safe during these harsh times. We are El Tesa, an Arabic rock band from Lebanon. Our members are fans of your podcast and have watched your evolution since the start. We appreciate you for giving locals a voice and are glad about your international breakthrough since the Ethan Klein episodes. I love that that's how they see it, like your international breakthrough since the Ethan Klein episodes. Well, thank you. Thank you. At least some people here in Lebanon appreciate my efforts. God damn it, these kind rock and rollin' members of a rock band said it themselves. I wish everyone was like them. We hope things are going well for you these days. We just wanted to share with you our album, Al Tesa, that was released around a month ago. 20 days into the most recent events in Lebanon, it was our original release date. Okay, wait, sorry. So we just wanted to share with you our album, Al Tesa, that was released around a month ago, 20 days into the most recent events in Lebanon. So 20 days into this most recent war with Israel, their new album was released, came out in the middle of a war. It was our original release date after years of preparing for the album, and we had a bunch of marketing ideas planned, but since the war escalated suddenly, most promotion becomes irrelevant and in many cases inconsiderate. However, we decided to release silently. Maybe our album can help someone through these times. So they felt it would be insensitive or shitty for them to try to promote a rock album during the war, as a lot of us here in Lebanon feel. I was like, how can I even, like, with me it's a bit different because I just turned my show into a news show momentarily where I was simply talking about the war and stuff. So my stuff was still kind of relevant and I could promote it in a way as like, hey, I'm covering the news. But for a lot of people, like, for example, my girlfriend Demi was like, how do I promote my tattoo and piercing shop during a war? Like, what do you do? A lot of similar businesses had similar troubles, whether you're a bar, a restaurant, a retail shop. Some things feel insensitive. So they had to forego, honestly, promoting their album. Like, they were like, we don't even feel good promoting this thing, so we're just going to release it silently in the hopes that, you know, someone can find it and maybe our album can help someone through these times. And then they emailed me, you know, and I forgot, and I replied to them like, yo, that was so fucking awesome, and then I never got to actually talk about their album on stream. But like a week ago, let me finish their album and I'll tell you. So then they sent me a link to like, here's our album on YouTube and here it is everywhere else. We hope you check it out. And if you really like it, maybe share it with your audience. That would really help support us and promote our music that we think deserves an ear and that it won't disappoint. We attached some stuff you might find useful, like our biography, artwork, press release for this album, and logo and emblem. So I forgot to give these guys a shout out when they sent me that email, which I do feel bad about. And then last week, after one of my streams, you know, I went out for one of my traditional late night shawarmas. Okay, I was hungry. As I was leaving the shawarma shop, I run into two dudes from the band. Okay, where can I find their photo here? Okay, so I run into, so this is their YouTube channel, by the way, El Tesa. Let me link that. So I've linked their YouTube channel. I'm gonna replace my pinned tweet with their YouTube channel. So I ran into this tall dude, Ali, right here. So he's the guy who sent the email. I'm guessing he's probably the biggest fan of the show. And I ran into him. I gotta be honest, I forgot his name. I'm very bad with names. I only know Ali's name, to be fair to everyone else. I only remember Ali's name because it is signed at the bottom of the email. So Ali and this lovely dude right here, got to meet both of them. And they were like, dude, we're the guys from the rock band. We emailed you. I was like, holy shit. How could I have forgotten? And it was so nice to meet them. Always, like, and I always look like shit. I'm like, when I'm leaving stream, I'm dressed like shit. It's the middle of the night and I'm eating shawarma. I'm always hoping no one sees me. I'm like, please don't look at me. I'm hideous. So I'm always a little nervous when someone recognizes me because I feel so vulnerable eating my shawarma late night, like a little goblin. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, please, no one see me. But they caught me. They caught me red-handed. So, so you know what? we are going to listen to one of their songs, and this was the first one that I had listened to, and it was honestly so fucking dope. Now I wonder if we should play. We're gonna play their video. This is them performing it live. Okay, so let's give these guys a shout out first of all. So I'm gonna close their email, that way I don't dox anyone. Okay, great. So this is their YouTube album in full. I'm gonna link that on YouTube. Bam bam. If you guys want to listen to the album on Spotify, anywhere else, it's available on Spotify and Rami if you have an Rami in the Middle East or something. So this is their link tree, Altasa. So actually just use their link tree. I'm just gonna keep I'm gonna pin their link tree. There you go. I'm gonna pin their link tree. So now you guys have everything. You can have their YouTube channel, you can find them on Spotify, etc. And let us listen to Altasa performing their song called Toba live at Yardbird. And by the way, if you notice, the album cover is like a pregnant lady. Altasa means the 9th. So 9 months of pregnancy. Look at that. That's pretty dope. Okay, so let's listen to this song. It's pretty dope. Fwage is called, why is it called the 9th? Well, they did send me a whole, I do have a whole press release that I think explains it. Let me read it, actually. You know what? Let me read the whole thing. Ali, yes, we are streaming right now. Bam. Okay, there we go. I just replied to a quick email. So they did send me everything, actually. So let me read their bio. We have multiple versions of the bio as well. So Altasa is a short format, medium format, long format. Let me read the long format for our boys, okay? Altasa is a Beirut-based Arabic rock band blending traditional Levantine sounds with the raw energy of rock. Their self-titled debut album released in March 2026 incorporates traditional folk music elements into a rock band setting, expressing the similarities and contrasts between two musical cultures in a way that's never been experienced before. For Altasa, Arabic rock isn't just about fusion, it's about translation. The band members carry the emotions and stories they each grew up on, the music of their homeland, and translate them into the world using distortion, groove, and the raw energy of rock. The raw energy of rock. Each track holds its own twist, moving between alternative, progressive, and folk rock influences while staying rooted in who Altasa are and where they come from. The result is music that feels both familiar and completely new to both Western and Arabic listeners. By the way, I'm pretty sure Ali and the other gentleman that I met were both from the South. So their families were directly one of their villages, they told me, was completely razed to the ground, destroyed. So not only does their music carry the tale of Lebanese people, it carries the story of the people of the South and resistance and loss and war. So, you know, more reason to support these dudes and show them some love on their YouTube channels, on their Spotifys. It's, you know, costs you nothing. Just a quick follow, a quick subscribe. Beirut has always been a hub for artists and culture throughout the past decades. The chaos in its history does not define the city, but it has always been a constant factor within its communities. Its artists draw culture from its streets, inspirations from its nature, and their motivation from its will to survive. Altasa is the sound of Beirut's constant, chaotic will to exist. They aren't just covering heritage, they are reimagining it, so expect to reach a state of tarab and headbang simultaneously. The name Altasa, the 9th, has many meanings. Mothers carry their babies for 9 months. In math, 9 is the largest single-digit number. Cats are said to have 9 lives. Altasa can also mark the end of a cycle, the mark of it, or the start of a new one, and the number of protons in an atom. I almost read protons as portions. I'm like, portions of what? Chicken? Okay, sorry. The number of I was just thinking about shawarma. The number of protons in an atom, or simply the number of a building floor. Who knows? Ultimately, Altasa is the name of a band who is proudly Arabic and unapologetically rock. That is what Altasa really means, bringing people together through music. Altasa are Yusuf Al-Khouri on vocals, Ali Sheb on bass, so Ahmed Ali Tariq Ghandour on oud and keyboards, Jawad Faris on drums, and Anthony Sargon on guitar and backing vocals. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the person I met was Tariq. Let me check, other than Ali. Yep, so I met Tariq. There we go. Sorry, guys. Tariq, my boy. Tariq and Ali. I got you. I got my boys. All right. Here we go. Here they are performing Toba live. Some Lebanese rock, folks. Let's fucking go.
والله قريش الموضوع لبنان والصدى براسي مسموع ما حد حاسس بيا والله ما ادريش الموضوع قلبي من جوا موجوع والصدى براسي مسموع ما حد حاسس.
Remember, they're friends of the show, fans of the show. What more do you want?
جيت انتهدى افكاري صبيت المي على ناري حملني قلبي وبالتالي كل اللي صاير بيا جابك من بعد غياب جسمي انهد من العذاب كميت من تحت التراب كميت الحياة بيا 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 كميت الحياة بيا
This is fucking awesome, but I'm gonna do something even better, and I'm gonna play the actual recording, because this, I know they're probably audio freaks. They're like, why aren't you playing the recording, the studio recording? I am, boys, don't worry. I'm 10 steps ahead. Clean studio recording. Let's go.
والله ما ادريش الموضوع قلبي من جوا موجوع والصدى براسي مسموع وما حد حاسس بيا والله ما ادريش الموضوع قلبي من جوا موجوع والصدى براسي مسموع وما حد حاسس بيا جيت انتهدت افكاري صبيت المي على ناري حملي قلبي وبالتالي كل اللي صاير بيا شافك من بعد غياب جسمي انهد من العذاب دميته من تحت تراب دبيت الحياة بيا 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 لا تتركني اشكيك خليك يمي اشكيك والله من عمر امطيك ودبيت الحياة بيا سويت بهالمهموم ما جاني يجي النوم صاير من الفجر يقوم زادت بيه الحنية سويت بهالمهموم ما جاني يجي النوم صاير من الفجر يقوم زادت بيه الحنية توبة 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 توبة.
Everybody asking, I like this. Are they on Spotify? Yes, JF the Dead, they are on Spotify. I have their link tree pinned on top or at the bottom of the live chat. Their whole album is on Spotify. It's on YouTube. If anyone has any trouble accessing the link tree, let me know. It is pinned. Yes, they're on Spotify. The English name is written at the bottom of the picture, El Tasa, right there. And I'm gonna leave once I'm done with the video. I'm gonna add all the links to the description and stuff.
حاسس بيا جيت انتهدت افكاري صبيت المي على ناري حملي قلبي وبالتالي كل اللي صاير بيا ولا ولا يا ماما يا ولا يا ابو قلب كلش حلو
So this is the blend of like tarab and rock that they're talking about. You got your traditional Arabic vocals with some badass like rock in the back. This is Toba. The song is called Toba, Jay of the Dead.
خليك يمي يا حنون لا تعذب نفسك مع قلبي وتسألون خليك يمي يا حنون لا تعذب نفسك مع قلبي لا تعذب نفسك مع قلبي وتسألون انت قلش الموضوع
Yo, that was fucking dope. That was fucking dope. All right, let's listen to just a minute of the next track, and then we got to get on with the show. I'm thinking of inviting the boys on for like a Zoom call, because it's like 4 or 5 of them. I don't think I can have all of them in studio. So if you guys are down, I'd love to get them on for like a 30-minute call or something, have a conversation with them, what it's like making music during war, being an artist in Lebanon, what it's like being a rock band, the struggles of the music industry, etc. What it's like just being in a rock band in Lebanon. I want to know. If you guys want to know, I'd love to have them on at some point. We'll have a nice conversation with the boys. Also, fans of the show, let's go. They appreciate our international rise, folks. What more can we ask for? This song is called Shbabik. That means windows. This feels kind of country. This feels like something you'd hear in Red Dead Redemption. You're riding on your horse as Arthur Morgan. Need to head to Armadillo. Very unique vocals too, I gotta say. Very nice vocals. To me, a band also like lives or dies by the voice of their vocalist, and this vocalist seems to have it. He's got it going on, man. Brunzar says, I'm here from Antasa. Brunzar, that, oh, I remember, I recognize your name, your username. That's you. Well, guys, we got Ali, a member from Antasa, is in here in chat. Brunzar C40 says, Ali here from Antasa. We love you, Anthony. My boy, this is fucking amazing music. Everybody's digging it in chat. You guys are more than welcome to come in here. Yeah, Mac, I saw. Thank you. Ali's here, folks, so give Ali some love. His name is Brunzar C40 in chat. Show them some love. The music's fucking awesome, Ali, and we want you guys here on the show. We'll chat with you guys, and everybody, please do me a favor. There's the link tree. Once again, it is pinned on top or at the bottom of the live chat. Go subscribe to their... I'm going to test you guys. I'm going to go to their YouTube channel, and I'm going to hit refresh, and I'm going to see if you guys subscribed or not. Add the albums on your Spotifys. Yo, we got Yusuf from Antesa is also here. Everybody's here. There we go. Mr. Rosif is Yusuf. Awesome vocals, my man. Very, very nice vocals. I'm loving the voice. Very unique voice you have. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's got a little bit of a عندك بحة شوي. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a very nice. I genuinely dig it. I'm not just being nice because you guys were nice to me, even though that helps. The nice email telling me you appreciate my international rise to fame. It's always going to help. Of course. But I mean, hey. It helps that the music is actually nice and I don't have to pretend that it's nice. There's also a tiny bit of Tenacious D there. A little bit of Tenacious D. Yeah, look, you can deny it all you want. I can recognize someone who's listened to Tenacious D at least a couple times in their life. I felt a little bit of Jack Black in there. You know what I'm saying with the guitar riff? I don't know, guys. I love it. I really like this shit. Let's see. Yeah, no, Tenacious D's no more. It's pretty sad, huh? Mr. Rosif says, I'm built. Yusuf says, I'm built like Jack Black. It might help. Hey, you know, maybe it's the, yeah, maybe it's the physical, you know, the physical shape. But anyways, guys, again, I'm gonna keep shouting them out throughout the episode. But thank you guys so much, and we're gonna have the boys on for like a Zoom conversation on one of the streams coming up soon. I'll connect with them via email. We'll figure it all out. But again, folks, YouTube channel at this. There are 258 subs. I'm gonna refresh. Okay, let me see. No one is, guys, come on. I want you guys to go subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. Oh, 270. Okay, you guys did. You guys did. Awesome. Awesome. You scared me for a sec. I was like, what? Keep subscribing to their channel. Keep adding their album on Spotify or on Rami, wherever you guys listen to your music, wherever you guys stream your music. All right, support the boys. Support some local Arab talent, some Lebanese boys, fans of the show. Okay, Do Not Warriors as well. So, and if you forgot what they look like, here they are. Handsome devils performing. Bang. All right. Bless the boys. We're gonna move on. As you guys know, I've been talking a lot about popcorn buckets. I'm gonna make it a thing, the popcorn bucket, and every time I'm going back. So it all started with the Dune popcorn bucket. Okay, you all know, as soon as you see this, you know what it looks like. It looks like it was made to be fucked. There's no other way to say it. This popcorn bucket looks like it was made and designed to be stuffed with some sort of penis in the middle of a movie theater. It was disgusting. It went viral. It became a collector's item. And ever since then, sort of like popcorn buckets were always kind of had started becoming a thing because movie theaters, no one knows how to make money off the consumer anymore, right? The movie tickets are super expensive already. I don't know how much higher they can raise them. You're paying $12 for a popcorn, $8 for a water. They're like, how else can we make money off of these people? Popcorn buckets. People like collectibles, right? So it all started with the Dune popcorn bucket. Then, a few months later, the Deadpool movie tried to get into the craze. Like, they were like, hey, everybody made fun of the Dune popcorn bucket for looking like a fleshlight. So they made this popcorn bucket of Wolverine with his mouth just full open. Again, with the full intention of making it look like they were trying to, you know, we're in on the joke. Hey, look at that. It looks like a fleshlight. Even though the Dune one, you could say accidentally looked like a fleshlight. This one was intentionally made. So anyways, the world of popcorn buckets kept on expanding and stuff. Then, just a few weeks ago, we talked about the popcorn bucket for Disclosure Day, which is literally like a fucking reindeer. Which I was like, they're making us eat out of animals now? I get it. Eating out of a fleshlight is already weird. Eating out of a Wolverine with his mouth open, ready to accept a penis. But instead it's popcorn. Buttery popcorn. Now it's like a... And yeah, they are trying too hard. Like the Deadpool one, like this was funny because it was unintentional. Like, you know, it was like hilarious because it was like probably an accident. This one was like, hey, look at this. We're trying to be funny. It's just like Deadpool. Deadpool tries too hard in general. Okay. Then we got this, which I found fucking weird. Okay. Like, why are we eating out of a reindeer? Super. And like, aren't the antlers like going to be a hazard? Hey, you're going to poke someone's eye out in the movie theater. And then the person sitting behind you is like, bro, can you mind lowering your popcorn bucket? I can't see the movie. So this looks fucking weird. Okay. And then the Odyssey, you're eating out of a horse. So you're eating out of a reindeer. And now you're eating out of a horse's belly. I'm like, what the fuck is going on now?
Did you ever hear?
This is too much. This is just gross. And I get it. It's funny. Look, it's Trojan horse. Ooh, it has popcorn in it. Surprise. I get the joke. Plus, it's ugly. Like this, it looks like an Easter chocolate. It looks like it's supposed to melt, but it's never gonna melt. It's just gonna be there your whole life. I don't like it. Okay, it looks like a piece of chocolate that I can't eat. So I'm not a fan. Also, this, and what we're going to talk about relates to this the most. It's the new look at the Lobo popcorn bucket for Supergirl, which, again, look at that. I mean, how much, realistically, how much popcorn does this fit? Okay, are you really telling me? Look at that. And I'm sorry, this is like the 5th time I show this to a lot of you. I'm so sorry, but this just... Like, this is a joke, right? This is literally 2 handfuls of popcorn. This is a toy. This is a toy. This is literally a toy that they've hollowed out and are shoving popcorn in. This is not a popcorn bucket. Well, they've done it again, folks, because now they are re-releasing the Fast and the Furious movie for its 25th anniversary, and there's a new popcorn bucket. And they've done it again, folks. Here it is. It's a car. Is it Dom Toretto's car? Yeah, it's Vin Diesel's car, and this is it, folks. This is how they want you to eat popcorn out of this fucking thing. Like, are you making fun of people now? What is this? Is this a joke? How is this a popcorn bucket? Shouldn't the popcorn bucket be shaped as the popcorn bucket, and then you take it from there, like you make it look like a wheel or a thing of Nas, you know, nitrous or whatever the fuck, you know, something. But you literally just like make a shitty plastic car and open it up and stuff some popcorn in there. Like, what is this? It looks, I can't tell which looks stupider. Is this dumber? Or is this dumber? This looks like it, to be fair to the Fast and Furious car, this looks like it fits more popcorn than this fucking thing. 100%. Okay? It fits more popcorn at least. If I were to choose one, I would choose the Fast and the Furious car. This is ridiculous though, man. God damn. Magnetic Twittara says, I was lol, I was just watching yesterday's live, then realized you were live right now. Why watch yesterday's live when today's live is live now? Let's go. Welcome to the stream. So anyways, this is it. I just wanted to complain about this. It's another one to add to the, and now I have a whole list that I'm never going to delete anymore. I'm going to keep track of all these popcorn buckets, and every time a new one is announced, yes, expect a full history. We're going to go back from the beginning, or I'm going to trust you guys to be caught up at this point. You all know my issue with popcorn buckets? Yes? No? Okay, great. Okay. Let's move on to Lebanon, folks. Let's move on to Lebanon. My country. Here is the Iranian foreign minister saying no end to war without Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon. Let's see. In a strongly worded statement. As you guys know, the situation in Lebanon extremely confusing. Or not that confusing. We know what's happening. Israel is still bombing the living shit out of it and wants to occupy 20% of our land. But the US and the Iranians have reached some kind of a tentative peace deal, at least a 60-day pausing of the hostilities while they work out a more permanent ceasefire deal. And one of the conditions is that Israel is supposed to fuck off from Lebanon and stop bombing Lebanon and withdraw from Lebanon. The Israelis have no intention of withdrawing from Lebanon, and they plan to torpedo and sabotage this peace deal. That is essentially what it's like, and people are just waiting to see, okay, what's going to happen? The Israelis have said they're not leaving, and they're not going to stop occupying Lebanese land until the Lebanese military has successfully disarmed Hezbollah, which is, again, civil war. So
during the first round, the most important topic at that moment were the announcement of the end of the war, and accordingly, and since the start of Monday morning, after reaching the agreement Monday, I mean Tehran time, the announcement of ending the war was released, but the official start of the Memorandum of Understanding will be on Friday. The announcement of putting an end to the war was announced Monday morning. This is very important, and it has been mentioned in the Memorandum of Understanding. This will be lasting. We need to end war. War will be ending everywhere, on all fronts, including Lebanon.
thank you, Faye. We appreciate you. So at least someone's looking out for us, man.
And due to the relations between war in Lebanon and the aggression of Israel on South Lebanon and the war on Iran, these two fronts, Iran and Lebanon, are quite connected to each other. And since the very first day, the Islamic Republic of Iran has considered the end of the war in Lebanon is quite connected to putting an end to the war on Iran. And at the time...
And this flies in the face of a lot of people. Here, even here in Lebanon, they're like, Iran doesn't care, and Iran has never included Lebanon in the ceasefire deal, etc., etc. They did. And apparently, word has it, I saw a whole Breaking Points video, an interview with Jeremy Scahill. I don't know if we'll have time to react to it here. Who was like, essentially, after Israel bombed southern Beirut 2 days ago, Iran considered bombing Israel, and then Trump had to offer a bunch of concessions and make a bunch of concessions for the Iranians in order to stop them from bombing the Israelis, to stop the peace deal from falling through.
We reached an agreement regarding a ceasefire, the truce was announced on all fronts, and we were confirming the Lebanon front as well. Now, we can say that the end of...
By the way, Haley, hello, and Polish Pusher, hello. You guys might notice there's a little bit of backup in chat right now. Haley, I need confirmation. Haley, were you and Polish ever knighted, or were you guys never knighted before? Because if you're not knighted, I have some people to knight retroactively.
The war in Lebanon will be also connected and related to the end of the war on Iran. I'd like to say something now, and I want to confirm that. From our point of view, the parties of the Memorandum of Understanding, America, Israel, one side, and Iran, the second, and Hezbollah, the second front. And the end of this war is part and parcel. Lebanon and Iran, they are quite related. End of the war will be the end of the occupation, and without retreating and withdrawing from the Lebanese occupied territories, then there will not be an end of the war. So
there it is. He said, as long as the Israelis don't withdraw from occupied territories in the south.
And the end of this war is part and parcel. Lebanon and Iran, they are quite related. End of the war will be the end of the occupation, and without retreating and withdrawing from the...
He's being very clear. No room for misinterpretation. The end of the occupation. They need to retreat.
Lebanese occupied territories, then there will not be an end of the war. So any military attack from the Zionist entity against Lebanon from now on will never be accepted. The continuation of the Israeli occupation to Lebanese territories is a violation of the Memorandum of Understanding.
The Memorandum of Understanding. We have a Memorandum of Understanding for 60 days. Just fucking call it a contract or something. Memorandum of Understanding. I appreciate the Memorandum of Understanding, but please include us. Lebanon feels left out. You keep saying we're included, but we keep getting bombed. People keep dying. So what is happening? And why is it so hot in here? I got the AC blasting. Still hot. Okay, Haley. An official knighting shall be upon you. It shall be official. I promise. Got to do that retroactively. Here is... Netanyahu vows troops will stay in Lebanon despite the deal. So great. Look at that. Two conflicting news. This life as a Lebanese person is a barrage of conflicting information. And none of it is good for you, by the way. They're all bad. It's all bad news. Like, which bad news do you want? This person says you're fucked this way. This person says you're fucked that way.
Speaking now to Lebanon, which is, of course, another important piece of this deal between the U.S. and Iran. Israeli forces in southern Lebanon say that they've intercepted a series of rockets launched by Hezbollah. This came despite a warning from the Israeli defense minister against any retaliation from Hezbollah. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ruled out withdrawing Israeli troops from Lebanon. He said the army will remain in Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria as long as necessary.
We have established
No, I don't want to see this fucker. Polish Pusher with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Polish. Says, united me when I got throat punched by ice. Ooh, okay, I remember that. Oh, perfect time. Okay, awesome. It's the same episode where JDD nicknamed me the DNW fire chief, and Elias was there too. Okay, well, that's fucking awesome. Okay, Haley deserves a proper ceremony.
security zones around the state of Israel. We did this in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Syria.
And by the way, shout out for getting throat punched by ice, by the way. Do Not Warriors are genuine warriors in every sense of the word. Out there, facing off against ice, getting punched in the throat while yelling at them.
Where, by the way, we destroyed all the weapons of Assad's army, which was a central link in the axes of evil. And I want to make it clear, we will remain in the security zones as long as it takes to protect our country.
Netanyahu also said that
even if it means forever.
With or without an agreement, he would continue. Netanyahu also said that with or without an agreement, he would continue fighting to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. Nour O'Day follows developments for us from Ramallah in the occupied West Bank.
It took the Israeli Prime Minister about 20 hours to come out and speak to the Israeli public about the deal that the U.S. president announced with Iran. This is a very deeply unpopular development. The opposition parties and even Netanyahu's own coalition partners have urged him not to accept it, not to comply with it. But this has put him in quite a tough position in confrontation with the U.S. president. Now, the Israeli prime minister defended his government's positions, the decision to attack Iran when Israel did. And he claimed and he talked about the many military achievements that he says Israel has already accomplished in Iran, in Lebanon, in Syria, and even in Gaza. The Israeli prime minister insisted that his troops will continue to stay in the occupied Lebanese territory and will defend Israeli interests, will act militarily to thwart any attacks. That fudges the line. It doesn't put the Israeli prime minister in direct confrontation with Donald Trump, but certainly it continues to pose the question of just how much leverage Israel has to derail the talks and what kind of actions await in the coming days. Nour O'Day, Al Jazeera, Ramallah, Palestine.
Residents in southern Lebanon who've been displaced from their homes have already started returning. More than 1 million people were forced to flee when Israel's attacks began in early March.
And speaking of people fleeing, here are people returning to their homes. So as soon as the U.S.-Iran deal was announced, people started going back to the south, even though no one told them to go back to the south, even though people are telling them it's still dangerous and it's fucked and they shouldn't go back. Lebanese people don't give a shit, dude. They're like, I want to go to my home. I'm sick of being in a fucking tent. Let's fucking go. Let's start rebuilding. Let's whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's quite inspirational. Lemon Mint Cat sends a very generous $10 dono. Thank you so much. Oh, my mouse died. Holy shit. Thank you so much for the generous dono, Lemon Mint Cat. Sends a $10 super chat and says, free Lebanon, stay safe, DNW crew, and do not warriors. Lemon Mint Cat, W's in the chat for Lemon Mint Cat. That is so kind, so generous, very sweet and considerate. Thank you, and I hope your family here is safe as well, Lemon Mint. Let's watch some Lebanese families, some badass southern families heading back home.
It's a recurring scene across southern Lebanon. People returning to their villages, in many cases finding nothing left. Israeli airstrikes have been relentless for weeks. Thousands have been killed.
Heartbreaking, dude.
There is now supposed to be a ceasefire as part of the U.S.-Iran deal, but for many, there is no future.
Everyone here has lost something. If not a loved one or a home, then weeks of displacement and humiliation.
Returns are still not on a large scale because there is uncertainty about whether the ceasefire will hold. There's also little or no services. The Israeli army bombed and destroyed civilian buildings and facilities. This is Hezbollah's heartland. Its supporters, and despite the losses, they see this as a victory because the armed group didn't surrender.
The enemy cannot be trusted. It has always been this way. It's an expansionist state.
The conflict may have been frozen.
I mean, they're right. Ultimately, man, they're right. As much as people are like, but why did Hezbollah get involved? And why do they not want to disarm? And why do they still celebrate it, even if they're losing their homes? Because they know the ultimate plan of Israel. They know Israel's ultimate plan. They're already being like, hey, we're not going to leave this land. We're not going to let go of this land until you get rid of Lebanon's only way to defend yourselves against us, right? Because they know the Lebanese military will never be able to stand up to Israelis. So they want to, by force us to get rid of Hezbollah. Now, has Hezbollah become way too... has it outgrown what it was supposed to be, just simply a resistance, and they got involved in Lebanese politics, and they became a massive group, part of Lebanese politics. And there's a lot of disagreements there. I have a lot of disagreements and a lot of criticism. I had lists upon lists of criticisms against Hezbollah. You know what I can't criticize them for, though? Defending our country against Israeli invaders and being the only people that are defending the people of the South that have had it the worst against the Israelis. I have a litany of issues with Hezbollah. Trust me. A lot of Lebanese people do, including a lot of people from the Shia population. But as when it comes to being Lebanon's resistance and defending us against a colonial occupier and religious ethno-state like Israel, I'm gonna back my boys up.
But it's not over. The Israeli army occupies dozens of villages along Lebanon's southern border with Israel. We cannot drive further south. Civilians, too, are not able to reach the villages closer to the border. The Israeli army remains in southern Lebanon, and Israeli politicians say they are not leaving. There is anger. This is the second war in 2 years. Many have spent all their savings and now want to know who will help them rebuild yet again.
This was my home. We also had a shop here, and 7 families lived in this building.
God damn, man.
The war has deepened political tension. Some blame Hezbollah, its military wing now outlawed by the state. Others blame the Lebanese state for engaging in direct talks with Israel, which failed to bring about a ceasefire or a troop withdrawal, or even an end to deliberate attacks on first responders. News of the ceasefire brought them some relief. They were deliberately targeted in Israeli strikes many times during rescue operations.
There is no justice. If there were, they would never have targeted us or killed our colleagues.
132 of them were killed. So were
132 emergency medical responders, bro.
entire families. Now Lebanon waits to see if the killing and destruction is really over.
And who killed them?
Al Jazeera, Southern Lebanon.
They're in our live chat right now. IDF kills children with 1 gifted membership. It's never less weird shouting you out. The IDF kills kids. Thank you for the membership. Just unhinged stuff. So, I mean, this is essentially the situation here in Lebanon. Is kind of just a clusterfuck. So are we included in the peace deal? Clearly, we're not. You know what I'm saying? It's just been a bunch of bullshit. Essentially. People are desperately trying to cling on to some form of hope. Like, hey, maybe we can return home. Maybe it's going to end. But Israel has stated that they have no intention of ending this. The Lebanese president and our government is negotiating directly with Israelis. This is not going to help because they're only capitulating to the Israeli and American framing of the situation, agreeing that Hezbollah is the problem in the region and not Israel, agreeing that if we only get rid of Hezbollah, then that's it. Problem solved. Look at that. It's all good, right? Lebanon will be happy. Israel will be happy. America will be happy. So we're kind of fucked. Everything, it's all headed towards either the Israelis are going to occupy huge parts of Lebanon for a very long time, or we get our land back only after agreeing to disarm Hezbollah, which will probably lead to some kind of like civil war or massive civil unrest, which is just, you know, fun times. Anyways, a couple of people are out there defending Ben Shapiro. Fetches up a storm over Trump's Iran deal. If the United States is going to suddenly become an advocate for the idea that Israel can't defend itself, then this is a giant L for the United States and for our allies.
Israel is going to have to respond to terrorism across its border, as we'll see. If the United States is going to suddenly become, Israel is going to have to respond to terrorism across its border, as we'll see. If the United States is going to suddenly become an advocate for the idea that Israel can't defend itself, then this is a giant L for the United States and for our allies. Israel has the right to defend itself against threats, but the attack it was responding to is very small and meaningless.
So this is Trump's reaction to their attack on Beirut. This morning's attack on Beirut should not have happened, particularly on a special day. We were so close to a peace deal with Iran. Israel has the right to defend itself against threats, but the attack it was responding to was very small and meaningless. Nobody was hurt, injured, or killed. It should not disrupt this important process. We are very close to a deal that will bring peace to the region, including to Lebanon, and all sides should stand down. There should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon, but there should also be no more attacks by any other party, including Hezbollah, against Israel. This could be the beginning of a long and beautiful peace. Let us not blow it. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
Nobody was hurt, injured, or killed, and should not disrupt this important process. I really don't think the president would see it that way if, say, Mexico had fired a bunch of drones into American soil and blown them up, and no one got killed.
Mathorga, that's not the situation. Okay, the situation is, consider America was genociding and ethnically cleansing parts of Mexico, and then Mexico responded. How would you think Mexico would feel?
I don't think it works that way. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work that way. That you're basically free. We shouldn't spoil this, you know, we shouldn't spoil this very important day just because you fired a rocket at my house and you happen to hit my front lawn and not kill anybody. He said, we are very close to a deal that will bring peace to the region, including to Lebanon. And all sides should stand down. All sides should stand down. One of these sides is acting defensively. One of them is a terrorist group responsible for the death of hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans. He said there should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon.
Hezbollah has been responsible for the deaths of thousands
long
of
and
Americans.
beautiful peace. Let's not blow it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm sorry, these are not kids fighting here. You have a terrorist
The last time Hezbollah killed Americans was like in the fucking 80s, man. Get over that shit.
group that has expressed its desire to wipe Israel from the map, and you have an American ally.
Polish pusher with a gifted membership. Let's go. Thank you so much, Polish. That's so kind. Went to Dopamine Troll. We got 5 new members today.
Flying sorties alongside American pilots, sharing technology and military largesse both ways. And the idea is that that state is supposed to what? Just go silent when it is attacked? And then Trump went to Axios. And again, this is just the kind of signaling that is not useful. It is not good. It does not help negotiations. It looks like weakness. And the Iranians can sense weakness. They can smell it. The president went to Barack Ravid at Axios, who used to be like the Obama cutout. And then he became J.D. Vance's team's cutout over at Axios. And now the president is using Barack Ravid as...
And they don't like Israel enough. Like, bro, your whole audience has abandoned you. Your YouTube channel is bleeding subscribers and views because of your fucking support for Israel. And you're still out there fucking bitching that it's not enough, that the U.S. isn't supporting Israel enough after getting dragged into a fucking war with Iran.
Is cut out. And the president went to Axios, and he said that he was shocked when his advisors called him to brief about that Israeli strike in Beirut. And he fumed at Netanyahu. Quote, "It is so bad I couldn't believe it. An hour before we're supposed to sign the deal."
He reminds me of Ethan Klein, honestly. I'm not even gonna finish this shit. So fucking useless. But also, you know who agrees with Ben Shapiro? Surprise, surprise, folks. Asmongold. The Roach King himself, folks. Asmongold believes that Israel should keep bombing Lebanon. Let's see what Asmongold, friend of the show, you know what I mean? Asmongold and I have gone a little bit back and forth on Twitter, on his stream. He's talked about me a couple of times. He doesn't like what I think about him, or that I don't like Ethan Klein's lawsuits or whatever, right? So that's the situation there with this dumb fuck.
Wow. Pakistan, U.S. and Iran have eventually reached peace deal. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, Juneteenth can be repurposed in May to an actual holiday. Well, Juneteenth is a real holiday. It was Emancipation Day for the slaves. That's a big deal, man. Like, that's a really big deal. Like, what?
Great audience that Asmongold has in his live chat. Hey, let's repurpose Juneteenth into an actual holiday. Great fans you've collected there, Asmongold.
What are you talking about? And it might already be over. Wait. No. Netanyahu informed Trump that Israel will not pull IDF forces from Lebanon and does not consider itself bound by the Lebanon clause in the U.S.-Iran agreement. Okay, you know what? Like, the thing is, this has always been my stance on this. You can never negotiate with these fucks. You just go in there, you bomb the shit out of them, and you leave them. If they want to...
Well, can you imagine this fucking disgusting motherfucker sitting in his cockroach-infested home, rat-infested home, looking and smelling like shit, just openly talking about bombing the living shit out of people. This motherfucker was America first or some shit. Now he's more than happy to just support Israel, send them all of your American taxpayer dollars so that they bomb random Arabs that you guys are never going to see in your lives, who've done nothing to this motherfucker. The only reason Hezbollah even exists is because Israel exists. But can you imagine trying to explain that to this motherfucker? Just bomb the living shit out of the base.
The thing is, this has always been my stance on this. You can never negotiate with these fucks. You just go in there, you
can negotiate with these fucks. I mean, if you're trying to be generous to Asmongold, you say, well, he's talking about Hezbollah. He's not talking about everyone else. He's not talking about you. He's just talking about Hezbollah.
Bomb the shit out of them and you leave them. These fucks has always been my stance on this. You can never negotiate with these fucks. You just go in there, you bomb the shit out of them and you leave them. If they want to kill each other afterwards, go ahead, be my guest. But the amount of, like, why are we trying to micromanage Israel? Yeah, why are we doing this, base, baby? Yeah, I think he should keep bombing them, by the way. I think...
Yeah, he just glanced over at his chat. They said, base. He's like, yeah, I think we just keep bombing them. Why are we trying to micromanage Israel? Motherfucker, Israel is micromanaging you. Trump is trying to get out of wars. Israel isn't letting him. Israel is walking Donald Trump on like a leash, like a dog, my man. Cool, right? But he's so cool, he's so funny, he's based, his audience thinks he's based, folks. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that matters.
I think Israel should keep bombing Lebanon because Lebanon has terrorists in it. They have Hezbollah in it, and again, they're firing rockets into Israel. They are. They're firing rockets into. I hope he kills every single fucking one of the Hezbollah members in Lebanon. Every single fucking one. And only then will the people there have peace. That's good. Yeah, and never negotiate.
And only then will the people there have peace, because apparently this would be determined by who gets to decide if we have peace. Israel, according to him, will only have peace if Israel deems it appropriate for us to have peace. Only when Israel feels like it's secure, there's no threat to it, then we're allowed to have peace. Because again, but the only reason Hezbollah exists is because Israel invaded Lebanon twice. So why does Israel even exist, etc.?
With terrorists, exactly. Lebanon's a semi-fucking one of the Hezbollah members. Israel should keep bombing Lebanon because Lebanon has terrorists in it. They have.
It just kind of makes me like, he's a fucking idiot, but like just being a Lebanese person, being here as we're getting bombed by Israel, US-backed Israel, basically the US and Israel in a sense. It is just kind of infuriating watching a fucking disgusting fucking, like, what can you even call him? Like his fans call him the Roach King. So what can you even call him to like insult this fucker? But to watch such like a nasty lowlife, just a disgusting human being, you know what I mean? Someone who's willing to say things like that for like subscriptions or like, you know, Twitch money or whatever the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Or just to not upset his like 12-year-old fickle fan base. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to say shit like that. It's like, what do you even say? But like, but he's got millions of listeners and millions of followers that are agreeing with him. So, and it's like, I'm like, what can I do to try to counteract this shit? And there's not enough of us, like, genuinely, like the leftist streamers and stuff are genuinely like such a tiny portion and such a small voice, and let alone like Lebanese fucking streamers that are appealing to international audiences. Like, I'm like one amongst what, like 5? I don't even know. It's just like crazy to hear this, man.
Hezbollah in it, and again, they're firing rockets into Israel. They are. They're firing rockets into
that are killing no one, my guy. Those rockets are literally killing no one.
I hope he kills every.
So when they fired like little rockets like that, and then Israel responds by murdering like hundreds of people, many of them just innocent women and children, even the resistance fighters, my guy. What are they resisting? Do you like Luke Skywalker? That means you like Hezbollah. Asmongold. Do you like Han Solo? You like Hezbollah. You love Hamas if you like Han Solo. You like Chewie. You like Chewbacca. You love Hezbollah. You love Hamas. Trust me, that's how it works. I'm sorry, I don't make the fucking rules, man. But, you know, every time Israel drops a bomb to kill a Hezbollah operative, they're also killing an innocent woman, an innocent child, many innocent women, many innocent children. Okay, they're firing these bombs in the middle of heavily populated, densely populated areas. Apartment buildings, you stupid fucker. You nasty looking motherfucker, dude. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you are revolting. You will always be revolting. It like doesn't matter, man, unless you genuinely look inward. Your outside is a reflection of your disgusting insides. You know what I'm saying?
Every single fucking one of the Hezbollah members in Lebanon. Every single fucking one. And only then will the people there have peace. That's good. Yeah,
and by the way, there's a lot of Lebanese people that actually think like he does. Believe it or not, there's a lot of Lebanese people that are like, yeah, based Asmongold. There's a huge portion of Lebanon's extreme Christian population that's like, yeah, bomb the living shit out of Hezbollah. So he's actually not. He would fit in quite well here with some Lebanese people. Asmongold. He would just stand out because of how fucking ugly he is. Because unfortunately for him, Lebanese people don't look like this. So he's going to have a hard time finding people that are willing to drag him over with them to like a club or a bar, because he's not going to be allowed in because of what he looks like. So, I mean, that's something.
Never negotiate with terrorists. Exactly. Lebanon's a
exactly, yeah. Base chat.
Semi-Western country. It is. It's disappointing that they're being taken over with terrorists. Exactly. Lebanon's a semi-Western country. It is. It's disappointing that they're being taken over by these freaks. So, yeah, that's it. Remember the pager attacks?
Disappointing that we're being taken over by these freaks.
I do.
We're actually being taken over by Israelis. They've taken over 20% of our land. They're occupying 20% of our land. They're actually legitimately, literally occupying and taking over Lebanon. Isn't that fun?
APAC funded. Right. Yeah. And, you know, again, like it's Israel. Israel's so bad. These people are trying to blow you up too, bro. Like, that's it. And we can't have Lebanon looking at Gaza by the end of this, though. That's not my problem. Like, what they do over in the Middle East, like, whatever they want to blow up, whatever they don't want to blow up.
He's so fucking inconsistent, this dumb fucker, this stupid fucker. He's just like, yeah, the people of Lebanon deserve to live in peace. And once they live in peace, once we let's get rid of Hezbollah so the Lebanese people can live in peace. And then literally 30 seconds later, he's like, well, I don't give a shit if it looks like Gaza. It's not my problem. What the fuck do you want? Do you want Lebanese people to, do you want to get rid of Hezbollah to save Lebanese people? Or do you want to flatten the place and make it look like Gaza? You stupid, ugly motherfucker. Which is it that you want? You can't have both.
He should keep bombing them. By the way, I think Israel should keep bombing Lebanon because Lebanon has terrorists in it. They have Hezbollah in it, and they, like, again, they're firing rockets into Israel. They are. They're firing rockets into. I hope he kills every single fucking one of the Hezbollah members in Lebanon. Every single fucking one. And only then will the people there have peace.
So only then will the people there have peace. So look, he's so considerate. He wants the people of Lebanon to have peace. Asmongold, thank you so much. You want people of Lebanon to have peace. What about Lebanon looking like Gaza? If you want us to have peace, shouldn't Lebanon, you know, still have some infrastructure?
It's Israel. Israel. So yeah, that's it. Remember the pager attacks? I do. Only then will the people, terrorists, exactly. Lebanon's a semi-Western country. It is. It's disappointing that they're being taken over by these freaks. So yeah, that's it. Remember the pager attacks? I do. APAC funded. Right. Yeah. And, you know, again, like it's Israel. Israel's so bad. These people are trying to blow you up too, bro. Like, that's it. And we can't have Lebanon looking at Gaza by the end of this, though. That's not my problem. Like, what they do over in the Middle East, like, whatever they want to blow up, whatever they don't want to blow up, it's not my fucking problem. I don't care. I just don't want to have any terrorists. That's it. That's the only thing that affects me as an American.
Asmongold, living wherever the fuck he's living, is apparently affected by Hezbollah. Really, when you go get your fucking Wendy's for the 4th time per day, when you're drinking your 12th Mountain Dew, how is Hezbollah getting in the way of that, you motherfucker, you disgusting fuck who doesn't even drink like water from the looks of it? You're just drinking soda all day, chugging soda. That must be great for you. Would love, can't wait to see the autopsy results. But anyways, this is just fucking insane, man.
There are no terror cells in the Middle East. Everything else is secondary to that. So that's the goal. That's what matters. Wow.
Lemon Mint Cat
Pakistan,
sends,
U.S. and Iran.
A $5 dono says, Asmongold is the world's stupidest human. All of his fans are the scum of the earth. Petition to replace them with shrimp. Please look up shrimp parties. We will look up shrimp parties. Jay of the Dead sent gifted 1 Do Not Worry membership. Let's go. Thank you so much, Jay of the Dead. That's very kind. That's very generous. Very much appreciate you. Super kind, Jay of the Dead. Salutations in chat. And that gifted went to Karma's Cunt. Oh, okay. Very nice. Tricked me into reading that. Mr. Karma's Krunt. Thank you. Anyways. He lives in Texas? Damn. Not surprising. Not surprising. So that, yeah, that's Asmongold's take. Keep bombing Lebanon. He doesn't give a shit if it looks like Gaza. It's not his problem as long as there's no terrorists. Very good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very much expected. Shrimp parties. Let's quickly see what a shrimp party is. Shrimps dancing with beer? I love it. Look at that. We got some shrimp dancing. I love it, folks. I love it. Also, real quick, this is pretty fucked up. Has anyone here played Pokemon Go? Were you a fan of Pokemon Go when it came out? I think I downloaded it and played a little bit, then I was like, this fucking sucks. But anyways, according to this, Gato Fumante shared this on Twitter, which was kind of eye-opening. So apparently Pokemon Go has been helping drones murder people in Palestine, Lebanon, and Iran. How, you wonder? Pokemon Go player data was used to train an AI model that may be put to use, helping US military drones and robots navigate war zones. The game awarded players points if they took a short video of them scanning certain points of interest as they walked around. In total, 30 billion of these scans were uploaded, DroneXL reported. Niantic used player scans to train AI in mapping of real-world locations. The part of the company that did was spun off into a new firm called Niantic Spatial, which in December announced a partnership with drone software company Vantor, a military contractor. How fucked is that? They used people innocently playing a little Pokemon game on their phones to map, to create AI renders of the world. And then these AI renders have been sold to military contractors like Vantor, which they then use for drone warfare and shit. So, isn't that fucking crazy? Politics says, I play Pokemon Go. Sorry that I do. It's all your fault, Politics. You did this. Anyways, just a nice little, such a dark piece of news that, you know. And you always figure that, like, yeah, they're probably tracking us. They're using this for that. They're using this for that. But, like, Pokemon Go, like, gaming companies that then sell data to, like, fucking, like, are you shitting me? You're selling data to weapons manufacturers and military contractors? It's just nuts. I'm going to get a water refill. Almost. I'll be right back. Okay. We're going to move on to the iDubbbz apology portion of the stream. So yesterday, I think, should reopen that apology, I guess, just to give everyone some full context. Give me a couple of seconds. Excuse me. Okay, so a couple days ago. Let's get into the iDubbbz portion of things. As you guys remember, like a few weeks ago, Ethan announced that he had sent iDubbbz like a cease and desist. That was a day after iDubbbz went on his stream and apologized to Ethan for sharing, just for rebroadcasting the message that Destiny himself had written on his Discord chat, accusing Ethan of being a pedophile and molesting, like, you know, his own kids, etc. So iDubbbz shared that message on his stream. You guys know the story. So anyways, after Ethan sent that cease and desist, iDubbbz shared a very, what I thought was genuine and sincere apology on his stream. For Ethan, that wasn't enough. They made fun of that apology on his stream, and he then decided to sue iDubbbz. iDubbbz announced that he was being sued by Ethan Klein officially a couple of weeks later. Surprise, surprise, to Ethan's surprise, the internet was not down with this lawsuit, even though he'd gotten a lot of support, weirdly enough, from like intense, insane incels and weird right-wingers online. He got a lot of support for his lawsuits against Denim's YouTube, Denim's, Frogan, and Caseytron. So I think he was expecting, and a lot of support, I think, from people that just hated Noah Samson for some reason, but less so than the Frogan support and Denim's and Caseytron. When they announced the iDubbbz lawsuit for defamation, that surprisingly got like a negative response from most people, even from a lot of people that criticize iDubbbz. We saw a lot of those tweets that are like, hey, I don't even like iDubbbz. I think he's cringe, but suing him is kind of stupid. It's kind of cringe. There were a lot of these messages that Ethan was not used to, especially not from his newly gained audience of like weirdo fucking incels, fans of Asmongold, fans of Nick the Oreo, fans of Kino Casino, whatever the fuck it was. They weren't fucking with Ethan. And then 2 days later, Charlie, Moist Critical, released his video talking about the lawsuits. And even though he had a lot of criticisms for iDubbbz, etc., putting a lot of disclaimers, making sure that his audience knows that he doesn't think iDubbbz is cool. He made sure they knew that, right? But he came to the conclusion that he thinks that Ethan's lawsuit is frivolous. It's useless. It sets a bad precedent and a bad example. It shouldn't be done. And he doesn't think that iDubbbz did anything to deserve being sued. He was surprised, like, why aren't you suing Destiny? Why aren't you suing the guy who actually said the thing? And then a couple days later, Charlie made another video because he got a lot of people. He thought that the reaction to his first video was kind of all over the place and crazy. And then he also clarified in that video that he also thought that Ethan's lawsuits against Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron were also frivolous and also pointless and also set a bad precedent and set a bad example for YouTube and YouTubers in general. So Ethan, faced with this kind of pressure for the first time, one of his lawsuit announcements did not go the way he thought, especially when in his mind, I'm suing iDubbbz. It's a slam dunk. People love making fun of iDubbbz on the internet, at least his new audience, right? So that's the new audience that he amassed. But then a couple days ago, maybe like 5 or 6 days ago, Ethan was on his podcast and actually said that, hey, well, if they just apologize sincerely, I might consider dropping the lawsuits.
Creator on creator, trying to, hey, dude, you got to watch what you say. This is real life shit that landed actual agents of the government at my door to interview my children against my will with the authority to take them from my home and put them in foster care. It's so much different than it was. The minute those people showed up, I went into work and I said, the rules are changing. And even after I said that.
And again, when he talks about it, he makes it seem like iDubbbz or Denims just picked up the phone and called CPS like, hey, go check out Ethan's house. He's like, iDubbbz was behind CPS, or he did CPS, or he supported CPS. Denims did CPS. It's like, motherfucker, you don't even know who called CPS. And according to like California law, the person who called CPS most likely like has to know you. They're not just going to send people to your house and investigate you in your house over like just like some random internet troll that can't at least verify who they are and how they know you. So according to a lot of people that are smarter than me in my live chat that know California law and understand how it works, supposedly it can't even be like just some random person. Like they have to know you somehow. Okay, so the whole thing is weird. But he's just out there claiming that it's Snark. It's the Snark subreddit that did it.
They took that as an invitation to be even more brazen and more provocative, and to say what he did, you know, to put what he had on the screen. I told Ian, you know, the only time Ian's apologized is after I sent him the cease and desist, and I did not perceive it as genuine, right? And I said, and I still say, that if Ian would issue a genuine apology, I'd probably think about dropping the lawsuit. I don't think he's ever genuinely apologized or reckoned with the fact that like what he did was so extraordinarily fucked up. If he did that, I would probably drop the lawsuit. It's really not. It's not.
Again, he doesn't even demand an apology from Destiny. He doesn't even demand an apology like, hey, Destiny, why don't you apologize? Like, again, you say you were joking, but you never directly apologized to me, and I find that statement hurtful. And ever since you made that statement, it has found itself on Reddit and on Twitter and other places. And, like, I just don't appreciate it. Like, he's never even asked for an apology from Destiny. He says that I don't have a case to sue him. You've never even asked for an apology. Okay, let's say you can't sue him in the States because, yeah, defamation laws are pretty extreme in the States, and you can't sue Destiny. Granted, you can't sue him, and you wouldn't have been able to sue iDubbbz if you were in the States, and you probably would have lost a lawsuit against iDubbbz if it had taken place even in Canada. But you don't even ask Destiny for a fucking public apology? You don't even do that? Swampy Boy sends £2 and says, even if they didn't call CPS, laughing about it is fucked. I mean, yeah, you could say that laughing about it is fucked, but he didn't even really laugh about it. He just said, why aren't you addressing this horrible... Why are you suing other people, and why do you have smoke for so many other people, but this guy who's accusing you of being a pedophile, you have no smoke for? And Swampy Boy, I don't know if you know that, but accusing someone of being a pedophile and doing stuff to his own children, that can get CPS called on you pretty fast. And when that person is Destiny and has a massive audience, and when as soon as he typed that already made the rounds on Twitter and Reddit and everywhere. I didn't need iDubbbz to talk about it on his stream for me to know what Destiny said. I didn't even know iDubbbz did the stream, to be completely honest with you. But anyways, here he is on camera saying that I'm willing to drop the lawsuit if iDubbbz just apologizes.
That's it. That's all I ever wanted, honestly. And from the beginning, when he was like friends with Froggy Tonic, who was talking about I don't remember what Froggy Tonic is a fucking psychopath. I don't remember all the crazy shit that guy said, but they're friends with him. And I says, how can you be friends with this guy and friends with me? It doesn't make any sense. This guy wants to like murder my children. Or he was engaging with the guy. I don't remember. He's fucking insane. The point is, and he refused to say his friend Froggy Tonic was being an evil scumbag talking about my family.
Here we go again, going about Froggy. Inuya sends a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Inuya. Says it's so incredibly frustrating that so much time is taken away from important topics to talk about this bullshit, which is probably Ethan's goal. I know, right? And honestly, this is, I mean, look, just as long as these lawsuits fucking stop, I won't have to talk about it. The problem is he's out there suing my friends. He's out there suing people that I've either spoken to on stream, that have either hung out with in person. I would love to one day, hopefully, if I'm ever in iDubbbz's area, or if he ever comes to visit Lebanon, I would love to hang out with iDubbbz. I think he's super fucking awesome and incredible. He's someone that I look up to, and someone that that inspired me to make a lot of my favorite videos. So the fact that I can even say that I'm like kind of like a friend of iDubbbz to me is like fucking insane. So I want to make sure that I have his back as much as I can. So I also can't wait. And I'm glad. I'm honestly glad this lawsuit isn't going forward anymore, because we don't have to talk about this. And iDubbbz doesn't have to deal with harassment for the next year or two while this fucking lawsuit happens. So while a lot of people are going to be hating on iDubbbz and are hating on his decision to apologize, I fully support iDubbbz for doing it. So let us quickly check out, rewatch iDubbbz's apology, because we watched it yesterday.
Hello, everyone. I am going to be talking about a very important and heavy topic for me. If you're unfamiliar with the context of any of this, I'll give you a brief rundown. But that is not the main purpose of this video. I do think it's important to share a little bit of my side of the story, but I don't want to take away from the purpose of this video, and that is to apologize to Ethan Klein and his family, especially his kids. Basically, Ethan is suing me for having rebroadcasted a statement made by Destiny on my stream. I did display the very disgusting comment for 40 minutes, and it was wrong. It was a comment from Destiny, and I even said that I don't agree with it, but it sort of highlights how I knew that it was a wrong thing to put out there into the universe and show people. You know, regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong. I was angry, and I was like, how do I get this guy to, one, not clip me, not mock me and harass me on his live stream, and two, this guy's a fucking bully. I
really admire iDubbbz for like doing the self-reflection and for deciding to do this apology. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, he's just apologizing to get out of the lawsuit, and Ethan told him to apologize, so he's apologizing. You can think that if you want, but I think that iDubbbz has, if nothing else, what he's done over the last 2 to 3 years is prove that he just wants to be better, and he wants to improve. And anytime he feels that he's not being the person that he has set the standard for himself to be, he's apologizing. If anything, people have been complaining that he's apologizing too much. Like, stop apologizing for all of the shit that you've done. So if anything, this is very consistent with the iDubbbz that we've had over the last few years. This iDubbbz that is showing growth and is like, hey, you're telling me that this thing that I did bothered you? Fuck it. I still don't like you. I disagree with you. I still think you're a bully. I disagree with your lawsuits, which he said all of that in this video. But I still do think that bringing up your kids and like talking about them, or like at least just re-mentioning and rebroadcasting that message, I don't think this is consistent with my values and the person that I want to be. This is very consistent with everything that iDubbbz has been doing and saying for the past like 3 years or something. So I don't see how this is him capitulating to Ethan. And again, always remember, if you disagree with iDubbbz apologizing, remember that Ethan is the only person to blame here. If you want to be upset at anyone, be upset at Ethan, because he's the one who sued someone in the first place. He's the one who is blackmailing people. Like, if you don't apologize, I will keep suing you. So if you have any smoke for anyone, the smoke should be reserved for Ethan Klein, the person who is doing the suing, the person who is threatening lawsuits left and right, not the guy who already apologized 2 weeks ago with just the cease and desist. He didn't even wait for Ethan to tell him apologize or I'll drop the suits. He already apologized because he wanted to 2 weeks ago. So people that are like, he shouldn't have apologized, he's capitulating. The dude wants to apologize. He was ready to face the lawsuits. Like, iDubbbz was ready to face the lawsuits. Had they come, he was going to fight it.
I'm angry that this multimillionaire is silencing people and suing people who have a much smaller audience than he does, and can barely defend themselves. And so I'm angry. I don't like bullies. So I wanted to do something that would have an impact. And, you know, without checking in with myself of whether or not that was a right or wrong thing to do. I justified it in my head at the time. I was like, okay, well, it's not my words. And it's actually said by a really bad guy, Destiny. Not a fan of that guy. It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time in the stream that I don't agree with it, but still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes, that was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do, especially for parents. Like, there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was extremely painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again. And just because it's coming from a piece of shit guy, and I'm showing it to people like, look what this piece of shit said, it's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I didn't, you know, I didn't come to this overnight, right? Like, to be frank, I'm angry. I do not like Ethan. I think he's doing a lot of damage to people online.
Again, like, just more proof that this is not sort of like him capitulating. He's making sure to get everything out there. Like, I still disagree with Ethan. I still think those lawsuits are bullshit. I still think he's a bully. I still think he's using his millions of dollars to silence people and to just, you know, try to negatively influence people. But I don't like the fact that I put this message. Guys, I'm kind of like, in this case, and this might make me very unpopular with some people, but like, any mention of like Ethan's kids or like Shredder honestly just makes me very uncomfortable. Like, even last time when we were filming Better Left Unsaid, James, at one point we were just talking about Ethan's tattoos. James made a comment in passing that was nothing. It was not an insult or anything towards the kids, but if you heard it out of context within like the first 3 seconds, you would think he's saying something about the kids. But even that, and me knowing exactly what James meant, I just don't feel comfortable bringing up anyone's kids. Like, when I started talking about Ethan again, it was about Zionism, debunking Zionism on the show. I don't, and also when you start criticizing people for like every little thing that they do, for example, yesterday I saw some clips being shared online of Ethan and Hila making some jokes about Oliver Tree during their memorial. And people are like, this is so distasteful. How could they make this kind of joke? I have the feeling that when people complain about every single thing that Ethan and Hila do, then your valid criticisms, the valid complaints, no one's going to listen to them. They're just going to fall by the wayside, because when you criticize everything that people say or do, when you actually have a valid criticism, no one's going to listen to you anymore, because when everything coming out of your mouth is you're criticizing everything, every single thing, and it just becomes literally like hate spewing all the time, then even the valid criticisms are going to start feeling like petty complaints, because, well, you're just complaining about every single thing, everything they say or do is terrible and evil. Then it might as well be nothing they say or do is terrible and evil. If everything they do is terrible and evil, then in their mind, nothing we do is terrible and evil. So I choose what to talk about, and I try to be a little bit more picky about like, okay, this is worth kind of criticizing. This other thing I don't think is worth criticizing. To the point of the Oliver Tree stuff, like, they were friends of his, man. He was on their show like tons of fucking times. I'm pretty sure if they make like a joke that someone who's not his friend would find insensitive, like even when we lost Jim D. Duker, some of us were making, you know, pretty like spicy jokes in the Discord, but like, we're friends of Jim. We know like, hey, Jim would laugh at this. Jim would be okay with this. Jim would be fine with this. I don't know exactly what jokes they were making. I think they were referencing the cursed baby stroller from like years past, but like, they're friends of his. They made jokes together. They are more likely to know what he's going to laugh at than the people that are mad about it online. So I also think there's like this people criticize everything all the time. It's like, just fucking relax. Stop. Why are you thinking about these people all the time as well? Sort of. Okay, let's get back to this.
And it changed the way that I was thinking about it. I didn't think about it. I didn't ground myself. I didn't think about, oh, like, who is actually being affected in this instance? And Ethan's family and his kids are being affected. You know, I just because I don't like Ethan, I think it's wrong to find an attack vector that is his kids. It's foul. It's not okay. And I think it was wrong for me to use the Destiny screenshot as a cudgel to make my point. I didn't need to use the Destiny screenshot to make my point. There's a million other ways I could have done it, but I didn't. And I regret that I didn't, and I regret that I ever put that screenshot on my live stream. You know, that's the main reason why I feel like I do need, for myself, for my soul, to own up to this and acknowledge that
Okay, so he said, regardless of what happens with the lawsuits, I got to do this for me.
Ever put that screenshot on my live stream. You know, that's the main reason why I feel like I do need, for myself, for my soul, to own up to this and acknowledge that I went too far. It wasn't okay. Ethan and Hila and their family do not deserve that. At the end of the day, whatever happens with the lawsuit is what it is.
Whatever happens with the lawsuit, it is what it is. He's not expecting to be set free from the lawsuit. He's just like, I just want to get this off my chest. I think Ethan is a bully. I don't like what he's doing. I don't like him. He's kind of an asshole. Frivolous lawsuits, using his millions to silence people. But I don't like what I did, and I just don't feel comfortable with it. And I don't feel comfortable moving on and making content without acknowledging this thing that I feel I did is fucked. And he acknowledges, I didn't write the fucking thing. It wasn't my fucking fault. But I shouldn't have had it on screen for 40 minutes. And I also wouldn't, like, guys, all I do, we've criticized Ethan so much for the last 3 years, and I still get people that are like, you give him too much grace, you're too nice. It's like, okay, but like, just because I don't think that he... Anyways.
For myself, I needed to make it known on the internet that what I did was wrong, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to behave that way. I want to make content that I'm proud of. I don't want to give in to a harassment back and forth online. I want to put my energy into making content.
Dude, he's being so much better than like everyone. He's being what I need to be. He's saying what Ethan needs to say.
That I can be proud of, and that I'm not going to be ashamed of because I lost the plot. I want to stay focused. I want to check in with myself and know what it is I want to be and what I want to do and what message I want to spread. And this isn't a message I want to spread. So I'm sorry to Ethan and Hila and your family. You guys didn't deserve that. I'm going to think about all of this a lot more, I'm sure. But for now, I really do want to just get back to making the content that I want to make. Having said all that, I wish everyone the best. I genuinely want to see a better world, and I do not want to be a contributor to what makes it terrible. So long. Bye.
I think very mature, very great message from iDubbbz. And famously, Ethan Klein responded at the bottom of the video. So if you scroll down to the comments, pinned comment by iDubbbz. Says, hi, Ian, I appreciate the thoughtful apology. It means a lot. I've instructed my attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely. Now, yesterday, when I first read it, I was like, could this be considered a W for Ethan? And absolutely, it's not a W for Ethan. This is only a W for Ethan if he decides to drop all the lawsuits. Like, this should be, I would only consider this a good thing that Ethan has done, because right now, it's a terrible thing, because he has threatened someone with a lawsuit and told them, but if you apologize, I'll drop the lawsuit. This was extortion. This is blackmail. This is using the legal system in the worst possible way. If by some miracle, which is not going to happen, and I was thinking that maybe with what just happened with Oliver Tree and with iDubbbz's apology, he's just going to fucking be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Is it possible for Ethan to have a come to Jesus moment or come to Moses moment where he's like, why am I suing these people? I'm going to drop all the fucking lawsuits. It's not going to happen. Never going to happen. This is an L by Ethan. Haley D sends a $5 super chat and says, the only way that Ethan can keep people around is if he sues them. Right? You're too afraid to leave because then he'll sue you. So he's using lawsuits in a way to keep people, to control people. But anyway, so Ethan drops the lawsuit. And obviously the only reason he dropped the lawsuit is because this was a very unpopular lawsuit online. People fucking hated this. The fact that Moist criticized this lawsuit meant that Ethan was never going to actually hold on to it. Now, should iDubbbz have apologized? Should he have given Ethan this W, and that like he made the iDubbbz apologize, right? He made him grovel like Casey Tron, all that bullshit. I don't think so. I think this was, and again, I'm very happy for Casey Tron. I don't think Casey Tron was groveling or anything like that. She did what she had to do to get out of a lawsuit. Now, before people start saying that iDubbbz only did this to get out of a lawsuit, let's hear from his wife directly. Let's hear what she had to say. 1 second. Gotta make sure I got it open. Okay, yeah. Anissa says, please do not apply U.S. laws to the Canadian courts. Canada's legal system encourages genuine self-reflection and earnest apologies. Please trust that what is being done is what feels right. Ian's apology was also not done to avoid the lawsuit. It was done because he felt like it was something he wanted to do for himself. So first of all, I thought at one point, I'm like, is Ethan asking for apologies because it can be a trick to sort of like incriminate the person? Like, look, you're on camera admitting you did something wrong. We can sue you. Thank you. Some kind of, and Ethan's been known to set traps, right? He copyright, he registered his content nuke and the lead up to the content nuke, the countdown with the Library of Congress, one of them 3 months after the fact to try and get people who reacted to them sued, etc. Ethan is more than happy to lay traps and try to get people that way. He doesn't give a shit. So I was like, is that a way to get iDubbbz in trouble? Him potentially recording any kind of apology? Anissa clarified that, like, no, in fact, it helps. It's only a good thing. Canada's legal system encourages self-reflection and earnest apologies. So already that was a positive. But B, she says, and if you're thinking that he did this to get out of the lawsuit, don't. It was done because he felt like it and because it was something he wanted to do for himself, which was the impression I got when I was watching iDubbbz's apology, when I was listening to what he was saying. You can just tell by how he's saying things. iDubbbz has genuinely matured a lot. I've gone to speak with iDubbbz a couple of times. I've had the fortune of having him on the podcast, both times to help raise funds for Lebanon and for Palestine. You get the sense for how people are. I've gone to speak with iDubbbz in DMs. The guy is a genuinely sweet and nice guy. And so this is all I need to hear to know that they did what was right. He did what was right for him. And by making that apology to make himself feel better, he's just fucking gotten rid of a fucking lawsuit, which would have been a fucking nightmare to deal with, which would have led to more harassment to iDubbbz, to Anissa for a year, 2 years, however long this would have lasted. As if iDubbbz and Anissa need more online harassment, as if they need to deal with more shit. Let's deal with an Ethan Klein lawsuit for the next 2 years. Who the fuck wants to do that? And then having to potentially raise money for that, money that can be raised for Palestine, for Gaza. Anissa's from Lebanon. Anissa is half Lebanese. She has family in southern Lebanon, family that has directly been affected by the situation. Don't you think Anissa would rather raise money to help Lebanese people than raise money to pay for a lawsuit? By the way, Anissa and iDubbbz donated $1,000 to help us feed displaced families here in Lebanon. Another reason why they're fucking awesome. So as far as I'm concerned, they did what was right for them, and I fully support them. Let's see what some other people online are saying, and I'll kind of share my opinion. Niara says, suing somebody for the words of someone else is pure delusion, and I don't think he should have gotten an apology. But I do understand why Ian would want to avoid the stress and financial harm caused by this lawsuit. So people are saying he shouldn't have gotten an apology. Now, should have Ethan gotten an apology? I think this is a personal decision that every creator has to decide. If iDubbbz made a video that Ethan's like, hey, this hurt me and I would like an apology. Now, tying the apology to the lawsuit is where it's extremely fucked up. Like, you can't defend Ethan in this case. Like, obviously, I don't think Ethan deserves the apology. I don't think Ethan deserves anything. Ethan doesn't deserve any sympathy or any apology or anything like that at this point. But iDubbbz choosing to make that apology was for him, right? And honestly, I've never dealt with the stress of a lawsuit. I hope no one has to deal with the stress of a lawsuit, but I'm never going to criticize someone for trying to get themselves out of a completely horrible fucking situation, which is only going to lead to financial and emotional stress for at least 1 year. Kilo from Kilo Tonics says, no hate for iDubbbz for doing what he needs to do to avoid financial hardship, but it's unfortunate that Ethan Klein is demonstrating for everybody that abusing legal and support systems to bully your enemies into silence is simply a winning tactic that there are a few defenses for. That is true in a way. That is true. You know what I mean? Like, that's the complicated thing. I'm happy for iDubbbz for apologizing and for getting himself out of this situation and for clearing his conscience. Like, that's it. His apology is out there. It's public. You can go back and be like, iDubbbz was so distasteful for doing that or whatever. He fucking owned up to it and apologized. So that can never be used against him, in my opinion. But does it also, I guess in a way, prove the fact that, hey, if you have enough money and if you sue someone and if you threaten someone with litigation, are they more likely to maybe apologize or like retract their statement or like not talk about you? Ethan has proven that in a way. Yes, he has. But should any of that go on iDubbbz? Should anyone be upset at iDubbbz? I think absolutely not. Absolutely not. Big Bungie, I think this is a take that I completely disagree with. I think this is completely fucked up. He says he is such a spineless loser. He has proven the efficiency of big malicious YouTubers abusing a nation's lax speech laws to shut down mockery / criticism. Okay, motherfucker. Why is it his fucking responsibility? Why is it on iDubbbz to take on a fucking freedom of speech lawsuit? Like, I don't get it. Random fucking people online, like on Reddit and on Twitter, it's way too easy for you to say whatever the fuck you want when your face isn't fucking out there, man, and you don't have to stand by what you say, and you don't have to own up to anything that you fucking say. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for you to be like, he's so spineless. He should have... Why don't you go fight the lawsuit? Are you willing to fund the lawsuit? Are you willing to pay for iDubbbz's lawyers? What the fuck? Like, I hate this kind of, especially when it's like anonymous fucking people online. The loudest motherfuckers ever are the anonymous fuckers. We're like, he's so fucking spineless. Oh, really? Spineless. It actually takes a lot more fucking courage. It takes a lot more fucking courage to like look at a camera and say that like you made a mistake. And even when you know that the reason he made that mistake was like, the purpose was righteous, right? He was like, yo, Ethan, why are you fucking going after these people when this motherfucker is accusing you of disgusting shit? How could you ignore what that person is saying? And how are you harassing and hurting all these other people? The reason iDubbbz did it is very noble. And even knowing that, okay, maybe he did it in a way that could be fucked up. Like, he just involved the kids in a way that he maybe feels like, I shouldn't have done that. But the reason he was doing it was noble. And him knowing that even if he was trying to do something noble and trying to bring attention to something important, he might not, you don't like the way he did it, but his intention, I think, was pure. Even then, to look into the camera and be like, you know what? And to apologize to someone like Ethan, a fucking asshole who I think the internet has now agreed is the internet's biggest villain. It takes a lot of fucking courage to stand in front of a camera and to own up to something you did that is wrong to a fucking villain, to someone who has done things that are 100 times worse than you. What Ethan has done is 100 times worse than what iDubbbz has done. Ethan has already spoken about kids before online. I've already given the examples of how he talks about Trisha's kids and how he implies that Trisha and Moses are like horrible parents and how they use their kids for YouTube videos, etc. Ethan has done and said horrible things on his podcast. But what iDubbbz has just shown is that he's a better person than Ethan. He's willing to put those feelings aside. He's willing to even apologize to a fucking asshole to clear his conscience and to make sure that he doesn't leave any negative impression or a negative legacy online. He's trying to clean up the legacy that he thinks was negative in the past and trying to change and grow as a person. So that is something to be admired. That is the complete opposite of spineless. And yeah, Drax says we don't blame the victims of violence for being a coward. Exactly. He's the victim of a frivolous, pointless fucking lawsuit that was going to cost potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. So to call him a spineless loser for doing what felt right in the moment, for getting him and his family. And again, he didn't do that to get out of the lawsuit. He did that to feel better about himself. And as a bonus, guess what? You don't have to deal with the lawsuit for the next 2 years. And more content harassing you and your wife online. I think that's kind of a victory. I think that's kind of a dub. So unless you guys were like, well, it's only victory if he gets sued, then you guys are part of the problem. You guys just want the content. You want the legal content. You want the back and forth and the legal updates. And he won the motion and he lost this and iDubbbz gets a victory. While who's dealing with all this stuff? While you get to watch the live streams and get to have fun later, there's real people behind this shit. So I know iDubbbz as a real person. A lot of you guys know iDubbbz as an internet personality. I'm lucky to know him to call him a friend. For fuck's sake, dude. So, as someone who knows him, I don't want him to go through anything stressful, remotely stressful. As someone who wants what's best for him, I just want him to have a great fucking time, make the videos he wants, and to be happy. So, if this puts him on the path, you guys as viewers, as audience members, you can have your own perspective. As someone who knows the guy, I'm perfectly happy for him. And I find people that call him a spineless loser to be fucking assholes. Honestly. So. That's where I stand on that. Let's see some comments. This was posted on Yeet. Let's see what people on Yeet were saying. I hate Yeet, by the way. I'm just using it as because it's a very pro Ethan Klein audience, so I kind of like to see where the wind is blowing over there. Lane says iDubbbz is the bully. He literally tried to get Ethan's kids taken away from him and then tried to imply he was raping his own kids. So you see how wrong, how misinformed people are. He literally tried to get Ethan's kids taken away from him. When and how did he try to do that? Again, they'll say they did CPS. What does that mean? He commented on the CPS situation after it happened. After it happened. He had nothing to do with any of that. So the way people, the idea that people have, they already don't know any of the facts. iDubbbz, no, don't give these ghouls a fucking inch. So again, this person probably means well, like, hey, you're encouraging Ethan, and you're showing Ethan that by threatening people with lawsuits, he can get apologies, he can get what he wants. But again, What's the alternative? No, don't give these ghouls an inch. That means the alternative is get into a long 2-year lawsuit with Ethan Klein that is going to be covered endlessly by lawyer YouTubers and slop tubers and everyone under the fucking sun for the next year or two. Please don't apologize. Don't make that video. Please, for our sake, deal with this lawsuit. I don't think he needs to. You should be calling out Ethan Klein for fucking threatening him with a lawsuit in the first place, for filing the lawsuit in the first place, and then for making it a condition like apologize or I'll sue you. All the smoke, all the anger should be aimed towards Ethan Klein and H3, nothing towards iDubbbz. Yeah, MKMT says it's not being misinformed. It's purposefully misconstruing information to an audience. Exactly, as well. And Ethan has played a huge part of that as well, by the way. Like, I feel like iDubbbz could technically sue Ethan for defamation for constantly claiming that, like, he did CPS. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Bo Blacks, old friend of H3 podcast, says iDubbbz kept saying he matured and gained empathy without showing that with his actions, but the way he spoke in his apology to Ethan actually shows me that he is legitimately maturing and exercising his empathy. It takes strength to do this for someone you hate. I'm impressed. This is almost literally word for word what I just fucking said. iDubbbz kept saying he matured and gained empathy without showing that with his actions, but the way he spoke in his apology to Ethan actually shows me that he's legitimately maturing and exercising his empathy. It takes strength to do this for someone you hate. I'm impressed. And again, it's even more impressive when you consider how much iDubbbz dislikes Ethan. And he even says so in the video. I hate this guy. This guy's a bully. But yeah, I think he was able to... And I'm able... A lot of people aren't capable of... A lot of people, like, with the CPS thing, I don't know why it's such a controversy. Like, to me, I understand why Ethan is upset. People are like, but it's not traumatic to the kids. Some people in chat are like, it's not traumatic to the kids. It doesn't have to be traumatic to the children. Bro, it can be traumatic to the parents. If I were a parent and CPS comes and visits my home with the implication that I might have done something to harm my kids or hurt my kids or put my kids in an unhealthy or unsafe environment, whether or not it's true, I would be so offended and upset. I'm the one that is traumatized. Ethan might try to make it look like it's about his kids and my kids were traumatized. I'm sure him and Ela were the ones that were traumatized because I would feel so insulted. Like someone felt like I can't take care of my kids, that they had to call like someone from the government to like observe me and to make sure that my kids aren't being harmed. Like that to me would be the biggest insult. As a parent, I'm just going to be honest with you. That is the biggest insult. So if him and Ela feel like, hey, we don't like we are not at the level where someone needs to call CPS for us, and then CPS shows up at their house, I completely understand why it drove him insane and why he's angry. To me, I would go insane. I would go fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Even if I deserved it, even if I was a horrible parent and I treat my kids like shit, facing that fact and having someone visit my home like, hey, we heard your treat, like it's going to hit me in a way where I'm going to feel so small, so embarrassed. So I completely understand why that like drove him insane. What I don't understand is why he would talk about it so much. Marina has just gifted a Do Not Worry membership, and it went to Ariel Sullivan. Let's go. Marina, thank you so much. That is very kind, very generous. We very much appreciate you. Way too kind. Clipping Wings shares the Vanguard crashing out. So the Vanguard crashes out over iDubbbz apology to Ethan Klein. Let's see.
But the fact that Ethan Klein, being a rich asshole in a Bel Air mansion, can just pick and choose broadcasters to humiliate themselves and forfeit what is 100% protected speech. This is protected speech. The only thing that this guy should be saying is suck my fucking cock, Ethan, you pedo. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I'll say whatever the fuck I want about you. I'll rebroadcast anything I fucking want to because I'm a grown fucking man and I'm entitled to say whatever the fuck I want. Fuck you and your shit-eating children, Ethan.
Sure, you guys can do that on your show, on your podcast as the Vanguard. That's not who iDubbbz wants to be, man. Like, iDubbbz doesn't want to make this kind of content anymore. That's not the kind of person he wants to be. He doesn't want to go back and forth with Ethan Klein. That's not the shit he wants to do. And also, he's the one under the threat of a lawsuit. You guys aren't. You guys are chilling, man. You guys are doing your show. So again, very easy for someone who's not iDubbbz or someone who doesn't know iDubbbz to be like, he should have just said that. Just do that. Just don't accept. Just say fuck you, Ethan. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it would be cool. It would be great on Reddit. And that would be a great clip. And it would be great, but it would also lead to 2 years of a fucking lawsuit. One that, again, a frivolous lawsuit that Ethan has no right to do. And Ethan is the villain in this whole situation. But it's just like this. It's so easy to say when it's not you and it doesn't affect you. It's so easy to just sit there and be like, yeah, you just tell him to fuck off. Like, yeah, sure, that would be nice.
Inclined. That's my opinion. Go ahead. Go ahead. Fuck you. I would never get on my knees and suck your cock. And I know how fucking easy it is to sit back here and say that shit, but I will go right back to the bar and shake martinis for people before I ever kiss this motherfucker's ass. I am so sorry this guy has to humiliate himself like this. I don't know what his financial circumstance is.
It's not, he's not, look, I don't like how they're saying, like, I'm sorry this guy has to humiliate himself like this. He's not humiliating himself. And I don't know if they know, like, iDubbbz's whole story and his arc for the past couple of years, and now he's changing. He chose to fucking do this. If iDubbbz did take this to court, I think he would have had a great chance to win. But also, the law in Canada doesn't work the way that it does here in America. Him rebroadcasting something that is potentially defamatory is not protected speech in Canada. Unfortunately, it's not. You know what I'm saying? So, like, who knows? I think he would have had a good chance of winning because Ethan has already said, is on camera, repeating over and over again that he will never stop harassing iDubbbz and Anissa, no matter what, even if they stop making content, no matter where they move on Earth. He said, I will always be there, like, to make your lives hell. He's literally on camera saying that. I feel like they could have gotten this thing thrown out. But again, I don't know Canadian law, right? They probably understand this better than I do. But to be like, he's humiliating himself, I'm sorry. No, he's not, man. I'm sorry. He's more mature than you guys in this case, and more mature than I am, honestly. Like, I look up to iDubbbz and all these sorts of things. And the way he's handling himself in these situations, I look up to him. I admire him. And I wish I could be sort of as strong as he is. Because, again, apologizing for something and owning up to something publicly takes more guts than be like, all right, fuck it, we'll deal with a lawsuit. In my opinion, the lawsuit would have been the maybe more logical way to do this, because he could get content. And look, people are siding with iDubbbz, and for the first time, Moist Critical is now on iDubbbz's side, and Kino Casino is on iDubbbz's side. Shit, you could think of it as the fucking career resurgence. Let's ride the lawsuit wave, and now iDubbbz has all the support. Like, I don't fucking know.
But I'm feeling bad for this guy.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you, and it is easier said than done. Like, it is easy to sit here and be like, I would never fucking apologize.
Yeah, I'm glad he's at least acknowledging this. Yeah, Jay of the Dead says Ethan is the one humiliating himself. Exactly. Ethan is the one humiliating himself. And all the smoke should only be towards Ethan. Don't look at a victim and wonder, why is the victim doing this? Why is this victim of harassment and of a lawsuit acting in this way? It's like looking at Palestinians and be like, why are they accepting these horrible terms for a ceasefire? Don't they know that it's bad? They should just keep fighting. Motherfucker, you're sitting comfortably in your fucking home watching this on your fucking 60-inch TV under air conditioning, and you're telling me how this other person that is under threat from this country that you're nowhere near, like, just like makhassak.
To Ethan, no matter what. I take the same stance. I agree. I would also never put myself through this humiliation ritual, but I'm also glad that I don't find myself in the position where I actually have to make that decision, obviously, as iDubbbz has.
That was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do, especially for parents. Like, there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was.
And if he was just talking about some like wholesome guy who he disagreed with on politics, yeah, I would agree it's a low blow to bring up these accusations, even if it's in a joking way. Like, I don't just go around accusing people of fucking being pedophiles that I disagree with. But I do think it's pretty unfortunate that, given Ethan's own track record, it's not like this is some wholesome, clean guy who's never made edgy jokes himself, has never accused other people of disgusting acts. Like, we covered it over and over again, but he repeatedly said that Taylor Lorenz is a pedophile for having conversations.
Yo, that's true. That's right. That's right. Ethan kept going after Taylor Lorenz. Like, yo, Taylor could have fucking done something to Ethan for all that shit.
With children for a journalism piece she was working on concerning Roblox, right? And nothing ever inappropriate happened. She was never accused of anything bad or inappropriate. But Ethan over and over again accused her of pedophilia. So it's not like Ethan is even remotely above this behavior. That was like several months ago that went down. But here Ian is having to be like, this is bad, never do it. And it just comes off as like, come on, man. Ethan is guilty of this exact behavior himself, and you can't even call it out.
Oh, totally. This is from the pedo troll himself, right? I mean, this is a man who has made all kinds of unconscionable jokes himself about having sex with minors. It hurts, bro. You did nothing wrong, and that's what if iDubbbz, I think.
Look, it is upsetting, and I get why they're upset, because
iDubbbz follows us on Twitter. If you ever come across this video, dog, like being for real, like, dude,
it is upsetting because iDubbbz did nothing wrong. Like, you could say you could say look, did he do something wrong? That's debatable. Did he do like genuinely something wrong? No, I don't think so. Was it a little bit like, you could say, distasteful? Could he have gotten his message across without having that message up? Probably. Like, there is a way to get that message across, but I don't think what he did was damaging in any way to Ethan. Again, the amount of views that stream got is negligible compared to the amount of traction it got on Twitter and on Discord when Destiny himself made that post originally. It got like Ethan rebroadcasting this message himself and talking about this over and over again on his own stream made me aware of this fucking situation that I wasn't even aware of before. It's the fact that Ethan keeps talking about this and he keeps rebroadcasting the message that Destiny wrote. So it's actually Destiny and Ethan who have made the story a thing. iDubbbz just commented on it once and just so happened to leave it on in the background of his video. Did iDubbbz cause actual tangible damages, financial damages to Ethan or his reputation by having this message on his stream? Absolutely not. The only person that should be getting sued in this whole situation is Destiny. The only person that should be apologizing in this situation is Destiny. So does it piss me off to see, like, does it make me upset that iDubbbz has to apologize? In theory, yes, because Ethan did demand an apology, right? But iDubbbz is also genuinely wanting to apologize. We have to reckon that this is the person that iDubbbz wants to be. He's more than happy to apologize to someone if he feels like, if he reflects and if he feels like, yeah, I can see how what I did upset this person, he's going to want to apologize to it. And you either are going to support him or you're not going to support him. And I'm going to support my boy. I'm going to support him. No matter what the Vanguard says, or some random fucking anonymous dude on Twitter or on Reddit that's like, he should have held his ground and fought the lawsuit. It's like, okay, go fund it for him. Let's see what Hasan had to say. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit of everything that we've all said. He's going to be, look, we're all upset. Like, no one wants to see Ethan get a W. No one wants to see Ethan get a win. You know what I mean? Even though I think there is a chance for Ethan to, like, use this and be like, listen, you know what? Just fuck it. Fuck it, okay? I just lost my friend Oliver Tree. This is all a waste of time. He would think this is all ridiculous. I'm dropping all the suits. We're done. Like, it's over. We're going back to how things were. And by the way, fuck Israel. Is any of this going to happen? No. Am I an idiot for even mentioning this? Yes, I know. You can let me know in chat on Reddit, you know. But we all know it's over. As long as iDubbbz is done. Also, like, Ethan would have looked like a fucking asshole if after that apology he doesn't drop the lawsuit. Like, they would have been like, Ethan, come on. You already asked for the apology. He gave you the apology. No one agrees with this lawsuit.
In any case, you know, I obviously disagree with it. I don't think he should have apologize for it, but if he felt the need that he wanted to apologize for showing someone else's comments, Ian has said this 2 other times already. It's just after the Moist vid, Ethan said he wanted a sincere one and he would drop the suit. Ugh. And I didn't even get to cover the iDubbbz apology to Ethan thing, which I don't think he should have ever apologized to Ethan Klein. Let's be real, but if it gets his ass out of costly litigation, even though it's like totally defensible litigation, you know, you got to do what you got to do. A little bit of pressure from Moist Critical, by the way, and Ethan Klein folded like a picnic table. Folded like a goddamn napkin. Ethan Klein has dropped his defamation suit against iDubbbz after being widely mocked online. He had attempted to sue iDubbbz for showing a comment written by streamer Destiny accusing Ethan of molesting his own children.
I'm guessing Hasan is going to be on the left. Let me move myself here.
Klein has not yet sued Destiny. Klein, after iDubbbz films an apology for the message he did not post, wrote, I appreciate the thoughtful apology. I've instructed my attorneys to drop the lawsuit. Ethan Klein's only statement on potentially suing Destiny for the message is Destiny was joking. God, Ethan is so nasty. So nasty. Straight up. All right, drop the rest of the suits then, big guy. You know? Like, this is why I wasn't... so critical of Moist Critical, because a little bit of pushback.
Sorry, I'm going to restart this a little bit here. There we go.
God, Ethan is so nasty. So nasty. Straight up. All right, drop the rest of the suits then, big guy. You know? Like, this is why I wasn't so critical of Moist Critical, because a little bit of pushback, and I think it forced him to buckle. You know? a little bit of pushback, and he was far more, you know, he was far more responsive. Obviously, we can talk our shit on this side of the internet all day, every day. The reality of the matter is, no, it's not even a loss of subscribers. He's been hemorrhaging subscribers nonstop, partially due to this, like,
Paisy Pats in chat says, Ethan calls people terrorists and pedophiles so often, it's every day, and he ruins people's lives regularly doing that. Ian sets up an example. Ethan also makes jokes about kids and young people all the time. No, absolutely. Again, Ethan is 100% wrong in this situation. And even giving him credit for like dropping the lawsuit is too much, and it's probably stupid. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh, thank you. I threatened you, and you dropped and you apologized, so thank you. So I'm going to be kind in return. It's no kindness. The only reason this happened, everyone's in this situation because of you in the first place.
Battle that he decided to wage against anyone and everyone that's ever like made him feel bad, right? Or called into question his comments. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reality of the matter is the entire commentary sphere on the internet is unbelievably slanted to the right, okay? You know this already. You've seen it already.
Yep. We're honestly in the fucking minority, man. God, sometimes I just wish I was like a racist MAGA dude. You know what I'm saying? Shit, just bomb the living. Like, I'll just fucking, like, let's just support Israel on YouTube. That make me more successful. Just let Israel do what they want. Just let it bomb Lebanon. Let's go. Yeah, self-hating Lebanese person streaming. You gotta bomb them Arabs, bomb the Muslims. Yeehaw! From the heart of Lebanon, let's go. Yeah. I support the Israelis. I don't, folks. I don't. This was just a joke, but like, shit, let me, you know what I mean? I support Randy Fine. He's right about the Arabs. I should grift to the right. Asmongold's my favorite streamer. Nick Fuentes, don't even get me started.
I am a recipient of their endless amounts of hate. But when it's Moist Critical that comes out as like a major content creator who's like, this is kind of up, what are you doing? All of a sudden, all of the forces of the internet commentary sphere will take a second look at what Ethan's been doing and maybe realize that this wasn't a legal pursuit that they should be celebrating. That's what it takes sometimes. Here, let's see what iDubbbz said before I end it then.
Hello, everyone. I am going to be talking about a very important and heavy topic for me. If you're unfamiliar with the context of any of this, I'll give you a brief rundown. But that is not the main purpose of this video. I to share a little bit of my side of the story, but I don't want to take away from the purpose of this video, and that is to apologize to Ethan Klein.
Oh, that's right. Far Twain says that guy exists. He's called Lonerbox, and he has no motion. That is true, but Lonerbox isn't coming to you live from the heart of Lebanon. Lonerbox isn't even allowed back in here. He's been to Israel. Shit. He probably didn't use his Lebanese passport, because if they see Israel stamped on his passport, that motherfucker won't be let back in. But like, Lonerbox barely qualifies as Lebanese. But you're right. You got me there, Far Twain. You got me there. I forget he's Lebanese. He's so not Lebanese that I forget.
And his family, especially his kids. Basically, Ethan is suing me for having rebroadcasted a statement made by Destiny on my stream.
Haley says, not gonna lie, there's also the possibility that Ethan's lawyers realized that isn't a strong case, so he's like, yeah, I'll drop it. Most definitely, probably. It's not a strong case. And again, the whole internet is like, this, why are you doing this? This is A, not a strong case, and B, like, why? Why? He didn't even say the fucking thing. So there was just a lot of pushback. Publicly, maybe from the lawyers, and then just with the apology, like with those two factors that Haley just mentioned, with the fact that the dude just dropped another sincere apology, Ethan would look like he already looks like the pettiest motherfucker. He would look even more petty, like, bro, the dude, you literally said, apologize and I'll drop it. He just dropped a fresh apology right off the presses. And also the fact that Ethan just lost his friend, like, imagine showing no form of, like, any form of, like, give or take after going through something tragic like that. Like, it has to have some kind of impact. Like, you have to believe that losing a friend is gonna soften him up just a tiny bit, you know. I know we've all lost hope in these people, and for good reason, but like, I'm sure they were deeply affected by what just happened, and maybe, just maybe, it can help them see clearly. And if they ask themselves, like we ask ourselves, what would Jim D. Dukers do? What would Oliver Tree do? But they're never going to do that, are they? Why would I even think about that?
I did display the very disgusting comment for 40 minutes, and it was wrong. It was a comment from Destiny, and I even said that I don't agree with it, but it sort of highlights how I knew that it was a wrong thing to put out there into the universe and show people. You know, regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong. I was angry, and I was like, how do I get this guy to, one, not clip me, not mock me and harass me on his live stream, and two, this guy's a bully. I'm angry. I'm angry that this multimillionaire is silencing people and suing people who have a much smaller audience than he does, and you know, can barely defend themselves. And so I'm angry. I don't like bullies. So I wanted to do something that would have an impact, and you know, without checking in with myself of whether or not that was a right or wrong thing to do. I justified it in my head at the time. I was like, okay, well, it's not my words, and it's actually said by a really bad guy, Destiny. Not a fan of that guy. It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time.
Why did the editor add the photo, though? We don't need to see that. Whoa. Polish Pusher. Just gifted 5 Do Not Worry memberships. Holy shit. Polish Pusher, thank you so much. Is that Polish? Don't make it a thing. Every time we're hitting 100 likes, Polish has been Polish. Thank you. This is the last time. Thank you so much. But we're not making this a thing. Folks, W's in the chat for Polish Pusher for being incredibly kind, incredibly generous. Gifting so many memberships. You guys are the best. You guys know who you are. Polish, folks. We salute you. Polish, that is way too kind, way too generous. And thank you, everyone, for the 100 likes. You guys are the best. Inuya, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for the super chat earlier. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you being a member. I know we're almost done with this, and we're not going to watch this whole thing, I don't think. And I'm going to head off. And then we're going to do a fun member stream. So Inuya, if you want to come back later for the member stream, we're going to be talking about Obsession. Spoiler free. Don't worry if you've not seen it. I want to encourage you guys to go see the movie. So I'm not going to talk any spoilers. So please join us for that. It's going to be super fun. A fun member stream. So I want to see you guys there.
The stream that I don't agree with it, but still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes. That was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do, especially for parents. Like there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was extremely painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again. And just because it's coming from a piece of shit guy, and I'm showing it to people like, look what this piece of shit said. It's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I didn't come to this overnight, right? Like, to be frank,
look, it's not wrong to show it. Like, I think when the Destiny thing came out, we talked about it briefly. I was like, oh, look at what Destiny said. Isn't that horrible? Maybe. I think what iDubbbz means is that it was wrong to, like, keep it on there as a watermark for 40 minutes without context. Like, yeah, sure, he said at first that he doesn't. And again, I don't think what he did is like that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's that bad. Would I have done it? Probably not. But, like, I just don't want to get in trouble. That I try to avoid getting in any sort of trouble. That's why I wouldn't do that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially seeing who we're dealing with here. I try to be as careful as possible when talking about those situations. I don't want to deal with a lawsuit here in Lebanon. You know what I'm saying? So was it even that bad? Not really. You know what I'm saying? What was I even saying? What did he say?
Angry. I didn't come. It's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I didn't come to this overnight, right? Like, to be frank, I'm angry. I do not like Ethan. I think he's doing a lot of...
Okay, I don't even think this is like a negotiated settlement, forced apology. I don't think it's a hostage video. Casey Tron's...
it's not a hostage video. Yeah, this is not like Casey's video. This is like iDubbbz had creative control over this video.
Video had far different vibes. I think this is genuinely iDubbbz. Yeah, no, I think this was his own personal...
BR says Ethan is just going to continue to harass him and sue more people. This was a mistake, however you want to frame it. I genuinely don't think so. I don't think this was a mistake, BR. And again, easy for you to say, you know what I mean? You don't have to deal with the lawsuit, so you want someone to deal with the lawsuit because I think Ethan is going to look like an even bigger asshole if he goes for iDubbbz again. Like, I think, and if Ethan goes for iDubbbz, that's it. Lawsuit is dropped. iDubbbz can respond to Ethan if he wants. It's not like iDubbbz signed a document that he's not allowed to mention Ethan ever again. He hasn't signed any settlement lawsuit. This matter is now settled. This matter between them, like, yo, you talked about Destiny's comment on your stream. Now this is settled. Now if Ethan has smoke for iDubbbz for anything else, iDubbbz is gonna fucking respond. He's not just gonna fucking sit there and take it. But like is Ethan going to continue to harass iDubbbz? There's a big chance. Again, I'm honestly waiting to see what happens. Like, is there going to be some kind of uh, are they going to get their eyes open? Is there going to be some kind of a eureka moment? Not eureka moment, but like, you know, some kind of epiphany. Is Ethan going to have some sort of self-reflection and reach a point where, like, you know, and I think, again, Spirit, and I don't mean to be insensitive, but like, again, when you lose a friend, when you lose someone, it makes you self-reflect. It makes you look inward. At least it does for me. So, yeah, like, again, Politics says, allow Ethan to make the big mistake that will continue to ruin his own reputation. Exactly. Why do you want iDubbbz to get into a lawsuit that he could maybe even potentially lose? Like, I'm saying, I feel confident in his ability to win. I don't understand Canadian law. What I do kind of understand from Canadian law is that if you share, even if you didn't say the thing, if you share a statement that you know to be false, you could be liable. That's what I understand. So if that's the case, and iDubbbz could be under some kind of legal threat, why even take that fucking chance, man? And have to raise the money and have to deal with stress and 2 years of content and YouTube lawyers making videos and analyzing, micro-analyzing every single thing you say or do and watching your body language on stream as iDubbbz stressed after his appeal. I'm looking like it's gonna be endless. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Again, easy to say as an anonymous YouTube chatter. These are people that we know. These are real people that have been on our stream, that have talked to us and spent time with us. I don't want them to deal with any stress. iDubbbz feels happy to have gotten this off his chest. He's done with it. It's now behind him. You want to accuse him? Hey, well, you remember that time you shared the thing about, hey, I apologize. Ethan and I are good. It's fucking done. If Ethan has more smoke for iDubbbz and wants to go for him, iDubbbz can fucking respond. But he can't mention that anymore because that's it. It's dealt with. It's taken care of. He apologized. It's over. Last Discuss says Ethan is using the death of Oliver as a scapegoat. I mean, I don't know what he's even done yet, but I just hope that it actually leads to some kind of self-reflection, you know? Not that it's too late anyways. It's all fucked. They've sued everyone. He's suing Noah Samson. He's suing Denims. Like, I'm not going to forgive Ethan all of a sudden. Like, it's not going to happen. There's a whole list of things. Drop the lawsuits against Noah Samson. Drop the lawsuit against Denims. I don't know what the status is of the Frogan lawsuit. If that could be dropped, drop that shit too. Take back every Zionist talking point you've made on your show. Apologize for every single Zionist talking point you've said on your show. Have Hila do the exact same thing. Have Hila apologize for the raid in Ramallah. Have Hila apologize and clarify and say that, like, hey, I'm fucking sorry about my time in the IDF. You know, when I reflect on it, when I was young, I was immature, I was stupid. Now I can see clearly why people. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. They've gone so far beyond what you could come back from. You know what I'm saying? And even me, like, sometimes I'm like, what if Ethan did, like, what yesterday too? Like, sometimes I'll have a moment of weakness where I'm like, maybe I give too much grace. But then also, what's the point? Am I just complaining about Ethan and Hila? Like, to me, ideally, when I started doing this, my goal was to have them see the light and come back and be like, you guys were right. We're sorry. Here, we're gonna say the things you guys want to hear. But, like, genuinely, I actually thought, like, that would be, I never thought it would be like just hurling accusations at us and calling me an anti-Semite and trying to deplatform everybody and suing everyone. I thought they would fucking listen. Did you fucking believe that? When I made my first video, I'm like, wouldn't it be great if, like, they pull it up on stream and watch it and respond to every point I'm making point by point? And then the first thing they did was call me an anti-Semite because I was on Arab saying that, like, Israelis stole hummus. And I was like, what? And then that was how I was. I'm like, you called me an anti-Semite, you fuckers. Then they're like, you're the fucker. No, you're the fuckers. And, you know? Yeah, no, they're too far gone. I know. That's the thing. They're too far gone. My goal 2 years ago, when I started, was I want to change these people's opinions because, again, that show was important to me. That community was important to me. I spent so much time watching those videos. I spent so much money supporting these fucking people. I felt scammed out of my time and out of my money. I'm like, wait. You guys are like this? You guys are like Zionists? Like, what? You know, it was very disappointing. It was crushing, you know? Again, this show was partly inspired by Ethan. I know the crew's not here often anymore because this show used to happen once a week. Once a week, it was an H3 episode. Now it's mainly me most of the time. Crew will be back soon, I promise. But anyways. But yeah. But I know my takes piss a lot of people off sometimes. Like, you're showing them too much grace. And I'm like, me though? Like, I'm constantly criticizing them. From time to time, I'll be like, wouldn't it be nice if this happened? In between the constantly shitting on these people. But again, I also try to keep my shitting on them on the important things that I deem are worthy to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't bring up everything that the clients do or like celebrate. I think that the CPS call was so fucking horrible for the discourse. I think it was so bad for the discourse, and it has caused so many fucking distractions. Instead of talking about what was important, which was, hey, these people are spreading Zionist propaganda on their show, it became like, who called CPS? Who ate the dog shit? This person didn't denounce CPS. This person denounced CPS. They're trying to get take my kids away from me. It led to so many fucking lawsuits. It gave them the excuse, the ultimate, like, they went for our kids. So now everything is fucking... I think the CPS thing was such a clusterfuck. It was such a derailment of the whole fucking conversation. You know? Like, there's more than enough. There's more than enough. Like, Ethan and Hila have put their feet in their mouths so many fucking times. There is a treasure trove of things to point to. Be like, you said this, you did this, you said this here, you did this there. But then to make it about everything else... Divinity Liddy says, oh, you were on the Arabs pod? You want reparations? For that, I got you. Reparations for what? No, I love the Arabs. I love the Arabs.
Decision. I have not talked to Ian at all, so I have no idea. I'm just purely speculating. I know for a fact that the Casey Tron one was obviously a hostage video. That was the Casey Tron one was very clearly a forced statement where that was like straight up scripted by Ethan's legal team or Ethan himself to maximize the damage and like to max out on the humiliation, you know, making Casey Tron apologize to Asmongold, you know, Nick Fuentes funnel Asmongold, self-described Nick Fuentes funnel Asmongold by the supposed anti-Semitism destroyer Ethan Klein, who directed Casey Tron to literally apologize to Asmongold. I just want to point that out one more time. Mr. Anti-Semitism Annihilator. Ethan Klein supposedly did that. And, you know, the whole part about like Hasan hasn't like defended me or whatever. It doesn't matter. Obviously, for people with working brain cells, they very quickly understood what that was. With Casey Tron, Ian's apology was not done to avoid the lawsuit. It was done because he felt like it was something he wanted to do for himself. Yeah, I can see that.
Divinity says reparations for watching Ethan. Can we? I would love to get reparations. I need reparations for the money I spent on Teddy Fresh, man. I can't even wear this stuff anymore. So many items of clothing that I can't do anything with those things anymore. That's what I need reparations for. My time, hey, I learned some things, I guess. So got to know some funny, you know, pop culture characters, etc. I got to discover Oliver Tree through the H3 podcast. So there were some positives there.
In any case, you know, I obviously disagree with it. I don't think he should have apologized for it. But if he felt the need that he wanted to apologize for showing someone else's comments, Ian has said this 2 other times already. It's just after the Moist vid, Ethan said he wanted a sincere one and he would drop the suit. Ugh, gross.
Damage to people online. And it changed the way that I was thinking about it.
Like, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting to me that Ethan Klein runs around and like gets to manipulate other people's behavior like this. Like, where he just gets to behave like a petulant child, a sociopath, where he's just like, apologize to me again a 3rd time and maybe I'll consider dropping the lawsuit. It's just bullying. You have a lot of...
It is. It's fucked. It's bullying and it is fucked. You know what I'm saying? It is absolutely 100%. And Ethan asked for like 2... I don't know what the 3rd apology is, but at least 2 fucking apologies. iDubbbz already apologized and he wanted another one. I want a more sincere apology. He's being a fucking bully. He's being a fucking asshole. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in a sense, I understand why people are sad to see iDubbbz apologize, because it feels like you're giving Ethan a W. But I look at it as an iDubbbz W. That's the difference. I look at it as an iDubbbz win. iDubbbz just got something off his chest that he didn't feel comfortable with, and he just got out of a fucking lawsuit. That's a win-win for iDubbbz. Ethan still looks like a fucking asshole. Ethan still looks unhinged. Ethan's lawsuits are still frivolous. Ethan is still the villain of the internet. Nothing changes there. And iDubbbz, if you think, well, iDubbbz now looks like a coward, how? iDubbbz got something off his chest, and he got out of a lawsuit. Ethan is still a piece of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And iDubbbz is still undefeated in the growth and empathy path that he's on.
Money, and you get to bully other people, and it's crazy that it's like in iDubbbz's situation, I'm sure this is sincere. I'm sure it was already sincere. He's just, this is the kind of guy he is. Okay.
There we go. Hasan gets it. Hasan gets it. That's the kind of guy that iDubbbz is. That's the kind of person he's trying to be.
The kind of guy I am, but this is the kind of guy he is. Yeah. Every time
I'm not as nice as iDubbbz. I'm not as good as iDubbbz. He's a fucking sweetheart. He is a genuine fucking sweetheart.
He's apologized. He's been really careful to point out the tweeting question over and over, and Ethan still refuses to sue Destiny. Yeah, it is Israel behavior. It is. It is literally. It is. Which is really funny because Dan Saltman apparently, I saw someone point out take every time I've said this is spiritually Israeli and be like, this is
Jay of the Dead, by the way, with 2 more gifted memberships. Jay of the Dead, thank you so much. I'm sorry for just noticing. Jay of the Dead, that is way too kind. That is way too generous. We're at 15 total members today, folks. 15 new members. Jay, that is so kind and sweet. Thank you so much.
spiritually Mexican. Okay, and with the AI, change my words, and then mass promote that to make it seem like I'm being like, if it was any other country, it's like, yeah, if someone said this is spiritually South African during South Africa, I don't think people would be complaining, you know. So it's ironic because like when you change the wording like that, it changes the meaning. If I said something is spiritually Canadian, no one would think that it's a pejorative. If I say something is spiritually Rhodesian, though, people will understand exactly what I'm talking about. They're so stupid. I thought you were online. How the f do you know this shit? Who is Dan Saltman? He's a Dan Stalkman. He's like a 60-year-old who spends every waking moment trying to harass, you know, people like iDubbbz. Myself. Yeah, saying something is spiritually Mexican is a compliment.
I didn't think about it. I didn't ground myself. I didn't think about, oh, like who is actually being affected in this instance? And Ethan's family and his kids are being affected. You know, I just because I don't like Ethan, I think it's wrong to find an attack vector that is his kids. It's foul. It's not okay. And I think it was wrong for me to use the Destiny screenshot as a cudgel to make my point. I didn't need to use the Destiny screenshot to make my point. There's a million other ways I could have done it, but I.
Have you played Destiny's comments with Ethan Studio? I don't think so. I have, and also I have in the process of like showing the frivolous lawsuit also.
And I regret that I didn't, and I regret that I ever put that screenshot.
Yeah, aren't we technically like? Isn't Ethan like? Aren't we all technically rebroadcasting the Destiny comment anytime we talk about it? When Hasan like that's too much bigger audience, but is it because he didn't have it as a watermark on his video?
On my live stream, you know, that's the main reason why I feel like I do need, for myself, for my soul, to own up to this and acknowledge.
Maison Limerence, where are you from? France, French, Canada. Says another hostage video. Maison, I don't think so. I think this was not. A lot of people are taking this as a hostage video, and they're sad that iDubbbz had to do this. I'm happy for iDubbbz. I think him, including the fact that he thinks Ethan is like an asshole and a bully, and is a millionaire trying to silence his critics, I think is proof that this is not a hostage video. I think this shows a lot of growth, a lot of empathy from iDubbbz to apologize again. This is the person that he's been trying to be and growing to be. Tunis, ooh, ahla wa sahla min Tunis. Thank you for being here. Very nice. I don't think it's a hostage video. Even Hasan just said it's not. This is not giving Casey Tron video vibes. This is different. I think by virtue of having iDubbbz apologizing, no matter what, the fact that he is releasing an apology is going to make some people feel like this is a hostage video. Okay? I look at it differently. Again, fuck Ethan. Fuck these lawsuits. Fuck him suing these people and putting them in a position where they even have to consider apologizing when he didn't even say the original thing in the first place. I think, you know, I'm just glad it's over. And I don't have to make another iDubbbz is getting sued video. We could just move on from this.
Acknowledge that far. It wasn't okay. Ethan and Hila and their family do not deserve that. At the end of the day, whatever happens with the lawsuit is what it is. For myself, I need to...
Stevnated says, I'm glad he avoided a lawsuit, but I low-key wanted him to fight and win. Look, I think a lot of us... Okay, look, I think that's fair, and I think a lot of us would feel similarly, like, hey, it would have been great. It would have been great, but like, it's not a movie. You don't... There isn't... you don't fast forward 6 months in time to get to the thing. Like, it's a daily thing that they're going to have to deal with. Like, you want them to fight this lawsuit, it is like daily phone calls with a lawyer and emails and mediation and appeals. And anytime a decision is made, it's going to be appealed. And again, think of all the content that is going to be made about this. Ethan Klein giving updates on his podcast. What is that going to lead to? Direct harassment of iDubbbz and Anissa on their Twitter feeds, on their Instagrams. You're going to have legal mindset. Every single law YouTuber making all these videos. iDubbbz is cooked. Ethan is cooked. Whatever is cooked. And then, and then it's money that they either have to spend from their own pocket or have to do a fundraiser. The fundraiser that they do, that money that could have been donated to help people in need in Lebanon and Palestine, anywhere, now has to go to cover lawyer fees. And then what if they actually, what if there's a chance, what if there is actually a chance that they might lose? What if there's, even if it's a 5% chance? Why even take that chance? Why even take that chance? And now, does this set a bad precedent? Yes. This just tells the world, look, hey, you could threaten someone with a lawsuit and just tell them to apologize, and then they'll apologize, and all good. Just use your money, use the legal system to abuse people and harass people. This is kind of what happened now. But iDubbbz is not a regular guy. iDubbbz has made it his thing to apologize for the last 2 years. How many apology videos have we seen from iDubbbz in the last 3 years? I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that. People are like, stop apologizing, dude. You're good. We forgive you. We understand. No harm done. Stop apologizing. iDubbbz loves apologizing now. He's that kind of fucking sweetheart. And I fucking love him for that. I love him for that, genuinely. And I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. No harm done, ultimately. The harm that has, yes, that harm has been done. No, I can't say that. A sort of precedent has been set by Ethan with all of these fucking lawsuits.
To make it known on the internet that what I did was wrong, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to behave that way. I want to make content that I'm proud of. I don't want to give in to a harassment back and forth online. I want to put my energy into making content that I can be proud of and that I'm not going to be ashamed of because
Slap Loma, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. By the way, again, reminder, all of our members, I'm going to be going live in an hour and 20 minutes. So once we're done with this live stream soon, I'm going to take a short break. Then we'll be back to do a spoiler-free review of Obsession, plus a small discussion about the crew's pay. Should they not get paid more, etc. And then whatever time we have left over, we'll just do a Q&A. We'll have some fun. We'll react to some stuff.
You know, I lost the plot. I want to stay focused. I want to check in with myself and know what it is I want to be and what I want to do and what message I want to spread. And this isn't a message I want to spread. So I'm sorry to Ethan and Hila and your family. You guys didn't deserve that. I'm going to think about all of this a lot more, I'm sure. But for now, I really do want to just get back to making the content that I want to make. Having said all that, I wish everyone the best. This
is a bit of self-flagellation. I don't think he did anything wrong, actually, but that's okay. He's just being sweet, and Ethan is taking advantage of his sweetness and reform. I know. Oh.
Yeah, he's being sweet. Exactly. He's being sweet, and Ethan is more than happy to take advantage of someone being sweet. Does this make iDubbbz look bad? I don't think so. Does this make Ethan look bad? Yes. All this only makes Ethan look bad. Would it be nice? Is it nice for him to get it lost like Denims is doing and take him to court and get legal documents to be I fucking beat you in court, bro? Sure, that would be nice. But it's actually also nice not to have to ask people for money to pay for your legal fees when that money could go for something else. And that's not me throwing shade on Denims. I 100% support her lawsuit. It's just this is the situation that Ethan has created. And these people are trying to maneuver through that situation the best way that they can. And everyone is making the decision that is best for them, their community, their career, their mental well-being, their financial well-being. Each one of them is taking on this battle to protect the speech on YouTube, etc. No one should be expected to have to fight any battle, especially not at the whims of Ethan Klein.
Ethan is not going to stop harassing you or your wife, no matter how much you apologize. He's too much of an asshole. I mean, who knows? Maybe he will. Hopefully he will. I just, leave this motherfucker alone, man. Jesus Christ. I think it's totally normal to want to check out of the slot factory. I wish Ian the best, but the reality is that these narcissistic smear campaigns never end. We'll see. I
genuinely want to see a better world, and I do not want to be a contributor.
But he's apologizing for using that comment. And Ethan has said that he's dropping the lawsuit. I I don't think he'll stop harassing Ian and Anissa. I'd be shocked. I hope that he does. I hope that Ethan does stop harassing them. I hope that Ethan stops harassing everyone. It's fucking insane. His only content is just like bullying people. It's alarming.
Yeah, they have to stop. They have to stop. And I don't know, man. If it were me and I had just lost a close friend of mine, I would kind of do some self-reflection and be like, okay, what would my friend have thought of my show and the direction that I'm taking this shit? Paisy Pat says, and Quebecois, do not worry, meet up at the Luge show on Friday. Come. Ooh, I would love some Luge.
It's so strange. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight.
I say Anissa. He says Anissa. I say Anissa. That's Hasan's reaction. And then Asmongold. We're not going to watch Asmongold's reaction. Fuck that shit. I'm tired. I need a little break because I'm going to come back for another live stream in a second. Everyone, first, let's see. Did you guys subscribe to El Teser? 278 subs. All right, not bad. Not bad. As you guys remember, we started the episode off by talking about a Lebanese rock band, El Teser, who are friends of this show, fans of this show, who dropped their album in the middle of the war with Israel here in Lebanon a couple months ago. They never got a chance to promote their album. They never got a chance to do any of the marketing ideas that they had. So they ended up reaching out to me, being like, hey, if you like our music, feel free to talk about us, mention us on your show. And I forgot to talk about them for like a month and a half or two. Even though I replied to their email and I acknowledged it, I completely forgot. And now, look at these guys. I'm going to invite them on the show for a lovely conversation. For a Zoom, I'm going to get the whole band, all 5 of these dudes in. I'm going to try to get them via Zoom and to talk with them and learn about what it's like being a rock band in Lebanon, etc. But in the meantime, their link tree is pinned on top or at the bottom of our live chat. So you can find their album on Spotify, on Anrami. They got badass fucking music. And we're gonna end the show with one of their songs. And by the way, Haley D has just gifted 5 more Do Not Worry memberships. Holy shit. And by the way, Haley, today, as you guys know, today we just knighted a whole bunch of new moderators. So Haley, with some epic music in the back, and since you're still here, which is perfect. Hi. I, Anthony, the descendant of Malik Kamban Sargon de Valda, the last king of Assyria. As I carry the sword handed to me by my grandfather and great-grandfather before him, a gift handed to my great-grandfather by Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia, the bringer of rain. Haley, please take a knee. Wherever it is you might be right now, Haley, please take a knee in front of your TV. As I knight you, our senior moderator, you are now officially, retroactively, you've been a moderator for a long time, an honored moderator, but now it is official. Your duties will only end, I'm sorry to say this, but upon your demise. You are all moderators until death. So, Haley, re-accept your responsibilities, renew your vows as a moderator. Pledge your fealty and undying loyalty to the Do Not Worry community once more. You have been knighted. Haley D officially. And all is right with the world. Until death. I'm not letting you guys go until death, folks. It's how it works. We want W's in the chat for Haley D, folks. As the music comes back and as I bid you farewell, I will see all of our members later.
خليك يمي يا تعذب نفسك مع قلبي وتسألون خليك يمي يا حنون لا تعذب نفسك مع قلبي لا تعذب نفسك مع قلبي وتسألون انت قل لي شو الموضوع